Hello, and a very happy holidays to all of you. Thank you for joining us for the Dark Orb, and we're back with Dungeon Crawl Classics. And it's not just me; we've got a small group of merry adventurers, led by the incredible Judge Bruce. I'm not going to delay this too much, other than to say if you want to win a copy of the module that we're playing tonight, which is incredible festive module by Brendan LaSalle, we're going to talk all about that. Basically, there's going to be a giveaway during the stream. If you're on Twitch, you can take part. There's a hashtag. We'll talk all about it very shortly. I'm not going to wait anymore. Let's bring everyone on. So, hello to Bruce.
Hello. Happy festive stuff and stuff.
Hey, Jules, how you doing?
Hey there. Having a good time. Thanks for inviting me, Phil.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining. Laura, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Phil.
How's it going?
Good.
Awesome. Jen. how you doing?
Hello. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Bob, thank you for joining.
You bet. My pleasure.
And last but no means least, welcome to Erin.
Hello.
So, this is going to be so exciting. Judge Bruce, without spoiling the adventure, can you tell us all about it in kind of minute back of the book details?
Yeah, so this is Came the Monsters of Midwinter by our good friend and weird uncle Brendan LaSalle. It's an adventure I was really excited to hear about. I think I'm right in saying it's the first holiday adventure Brendan's written. But everybody probably knows that Goodman put through a good holiday adventure every year. And this is certainly the first Brendan LaSalle one I've run. I've run them by Julian Burnick. I've run Mike Curtis's modules in the past, and I'm a big fan of Brendan's work. I'm gushing slightly, and but I am. I'm a big fan, and more exciting is it's not only is it Brendan stuff, but it's Brendan playing in the Shudder Mountains. Now, back in 2020, I co-hosted a stream on Goodman Twitch channel with Brendan, and one of my absolute favorite games was one that I think went into the DCC Day pack this year, or possibly free RPG Day, but it was a short Shudder Mountains adventure that Brendan put together, and it just seems a good fit. Brendan's a great GM, great writer, and really good fit. I think with the Shudders, perhaps only after Mandy Mike Curtis himself, but it's good. So it's a holiday adventure set on Sovereign Night, which is the Shudder Mountains main deity. I believe we've got a cleric of the Sovereign in our cast of characters this evening.
Indeed.
So I think I'm going to stop gushing about how great the adventure is, and I just hope I can do it justice. But I'm going to go around the table, and I'm just going to go around the table as you displayed here on the screen. Jules, mate, it's an absolute pleasure to have you at the virtual table. Can you tell me a little about Darby O'Gill?
Yeah, Darby O'Gill is a musician. He is a class called Lucky Son of a Gun, and he's a guy that he's got his fiddle and bow, and he's a two-weapon fighter. But he's fighting with fists, of course. 'Cause that's what you do when you're in the Shadow Mountains. You're a bit of a. He's got his pint of white lightning, which us British people know is quality. Actually, it's absolute rubbish.
It's the British Thunderbird wine, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we used to drink Thunderbird as kids too, but it's about on that level.
Worse than Mad Dog 2020, and it's cheap as chips and twice as nasty. It's cider, isn't it? White Lightning, but he attacks with his what are they? They're fiddle bows. So he's got two of those, and it's like, so I'm looking forward to him. Whether he's going to sing a song or not, it depends on whether I drink any White Lightning or not.
Well, let's hope there is some singing. Let's see how it goes. Laura, thank you ever so much for playing. Do you want to tell us about your character?
So I am playing a hunter, and I am a warrior class with my ride or die friend, Merle Goodhammer. And my character name is Suzupa Nort. She is a hunter who came to the Shutter Mountains by way of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Very dedicated to hunting deer, making jerky. I've got my good hunting hat, so I'm feeling lucky. And my favorite lucky weapon is my longbow, which I refer to as the Don't You Know bow. We're going to have fun tonight.
Thank you, Laura. And Jen, thank you so much for playing. I haven't actually managed to get you or Bob at the table yet, and to have you both here is absolutely awesome. So thank you very much.
I'm
Tell
so
us about
excited
Letty
to play
Jane.
with you again.
Oh, that's cool.
Letty Jane Ivy. They weren't quite sure how she'd turn out as a little shudlin, we should say, but the Sovereign provides, and she has been shown the way, and so she is decked out with a heavy buckled coat from Da and a hawthorn wood stave, as well as all of the normal accoutrement of a worshiper of the Sovereign. And this being Sovereign Night, one of the holiest of all nights, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to end up playing babysitter tonight, or I think it's going to be hit or miss.
Thanks, Jen. Phil, you're playing the thief again. I mean, typecast?
Trying to steal the show, it's going to be a challenge. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining. I'm so excited by this group. It's just going to be so much fun. I'm very kind of enamored with this. I'm playing Honest Said. He is a trader, and all of his goods are legit. They're all just pucker, the best you could possibly get on this store, right here. But other than that, he obviously knows the value of a good hard day's work and of procuring everything by the most premium methods possible. And that's about it for me.
Thanks, Phil. Bob, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Absolute pleasure to be here. I'm doing great. I'm playing the Merle Goodhammer. I'm the local blacksmith of the town. I have noticed that Honest Seb sells barrels and nails that look a lot like the ones that I've made, but he swears to me that I didn't make them.
They're not as good as yours.
He's been importing them from someplace. But I'm the blacksmith, and if it needs hitting, I'll hit it.
Awesome. Thank you, Bob. Erin, good evening.
Evening. So tonight I'm playing Frazzle, the hedge wizard. Imagine Sylvester McCoy as Radagast in Lord of the Rings. Awesome. Slightly all over the place.
So all over the place that her webcam appears to us.
Oh dear, Erin has frozen up. We will get her back in a second.
I'm sure.
No, we can't leave our hedge wizard behind.
Definitely can't leave our wizard
No, we need one of those.
Well, wait, what's her alignment? Maybe
That
It's
was-
got to be fill the
was-
dead air with song.
Oh,
She's back.
I'm rousing up my bow, and here we go,
And
Your hedge wizardry was.
I don't know quite what happened there. Sorry about that, guys. Something weird going on. He's there with his staff, but he's also got Stringfellow's hawk along with him that perched on his shoulder, who will help us along in the adventure, I'm sure.
That's absolutely awesome. So you are, of course, all known to each other. You are an adventuring party, or perhaps on this occasion, just a travelling band of friends. For Sovereign Night is approaching, the holiday of Sovereign Night. Now, if you go far enough north and east in the Shudders, you eventually come to Star Notch. It's the prettiest little town that you ever saw, especially around Sovereign Night, which is the longest and the holiest night of the year. All the Shud folk hold Sovereign Night sacred, but it's different up in Star Notch. It seems like they spend half the year getting ready, hanging decorations, making gifts, saving up money to buy presents, singing hymns. And on the surface, it all seems celebratory, and that's for sure. But the decorations and the hymn singing ain't the main thing. Starnotch folk believe that the woods hide an ancient evil so old it watched the first of us arrive in the hills. Thus, the local custom is to try your hardest to share enough of your own light during the solstice that the sovereign shall himself bless the proceedings and create such a divine light over the town that it holds back the evil in the woods for one more blessed year. None but himself can speak to the truth of this. But it's sure there are strange goings on in the vicinity. Outsiders coming and going up to none know what business. Farmers in their fields disappearing, just gone like campfire smoke. But perhaps this year they need that blessing more than ever. So I am going to ask you all to give me a D7 roll. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this anyway. There's probably going to be rolling and re-rolling because there's only 6 of you. But let's try and do it this way around. Jules, give me a D7 roll.
I will. And I got a 6.
Okie dokie. So the rumor you have heard is that the Sovereign Night means more than gifts and getting together in Starnotch. Holding it special the way they do grants the town protection from evil creatures and bad influences. Laura.
A 2.
You got a 2. So the rumor that you've heard about Starnotch is that the Sovereign himself watches over Starnotch during the Sovereign Night and sometimes sneaks into town disguised as a peddler to join the festivities. Jen.
1.
A number of folks from nearby towns, such as Green Downs, Shoe, and Fog Hollow, have gone missing in the last several weeks. Phil.
I rolled a 5.
The past autumn, a dragon was spotted in the sky over Starnotch. Bob.
I have a 4.
The outsiders who visit Starnotch are mostly shudfolk who left the mountains and now regret their new lives in the city. Erin.
I got a 5.
You've also had that same rumor about a dragon.
There be dragons.
Right. So you visit Starnotch, you explore a little, and you take yourself some lodgings at Martete's rooms for rent. There are many places you could go, but Martete seems to be the most motherly, the most loving, and from what I hear, slightly kooky, but a well-loved character in Starnotch. Well loved, well respected, and when she's not around anymore, she's sure going to be much missed. But she's a fantastic character, and you get a lovely couple of rooms to bed down. As I say, you're an experienced bunch of adventurers, but you're here really just to take in the festivities. That is until this. I should make clear is I think 3 nights before Sovereign Night itself. But sometime before midnight, you're roused by the town fire bell ringing. An absolute clamour, and you hear shouts in the street. What are you guys going to do?
What on earth?
I'm going to grab my britches and go running.
Is there a
Okay.
window in my room that's facing the street?
Exactly, Laura.
Yeah, so the center of town is the chapel, and people seem to be running in the direction of the chapel. You can make out the orange and red of a blaze.
Oh, a fire. I just start
Yep.
screaming, fire, 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 and I run down the stairs towards the entrance of the inn.
Okay.
I grab my
Anybody
stuff.
doing anything but running towards the fire right now?
Honestly, if the chapel is on fire, grab the coat and staff, and I will, try to
Sure.
throw it on as I head down the stairs.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I probably won't be thinking of much else.
Okay.
In case of
Stringfellow,
anyone,
fly ahead. See what it is.
in case anyone wants to accuse me of fiddling whilst the town burns, I'm going to be doing that. Obviously getting out and
Wow.
I'm
Not
going to go
even
down.
for
I'm going to go
sure.
down. And honestly, it's a wake up call for people. No, if it's not the fire, it's the horrible noise coming from the strangled catgut on my.
So
I think it's melodic. Others
So-
have said other things.
Darby's fiddling with his strangled cat guts or something.
Yeah.
The rest of you make a beeline to the chapel. Now, fortunately, the roads and streets have been fairly recently shoveled. There is snow everywhere. You can see that the roof of the church is on fire, but there's something sinister about the flames themselves. You've got obviously oranges, reds, and yellows and whites, the flames, but there are black shapes, black flame shapes twisting as you watch. In front of the stairs leading to the door of the temple are 3 rampaging humanoid figures. From the neck down, they seem to be dressed as men in quite well-to-do clothes, but they have clawed hands and feet. From the neck up, these 3 have got the heads of animals. One has the head of a snake, one has the head of a weasel, and one has the head of a lizard. They roar and stomp and gnash their teeth. The lizard-headed one is holding a torch that's got the same black flames coming from it. The flame seems to have a horrible face with it coming from within it, and the flame hisses and menaces towards you with tiny arms of dark fire. Roll initiative, please, folks.
All right.
Do we see the town briar anywhere? The home pastor, for lack of better words.
You don't. No, not
Great.
unless he's not unless he's dressed in regular looking clothes, because there seems to be a bit of a bucket chain coming together.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, no sign of him immediately. I'm going to go around the table then with the initiative, and Jules, what have you got for Darby?
4.
Okay. Laura?
I told you he was slow. He's playing the old fiddle at the moment.
I rolled my first one of the game, so +4. That's a 5 initiative.
Oh, wow. Well, +4 ain't bad,
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So, Sisupa, is that correct? Sisupa?
Sisu. You can call me Sisu for short.
Sisu, that's going to help.
Full name is Sizupa.
Sisu. And Letty Jane.
Letty Jane has a 16.
Nice, thank you. Phil, honest Seb, or just Seb?
Yeah, Seb is fine. He'll allow it. And well, he prefer you called him honest. Yeah, he's rocking the high scores with a 5.
Also on a 5. Okay, so Sisu and Seb, do you want to make an agreement? Or do we want to do an agility thing for who goes first?
My agility is 16. I don't trust
go for it.
Seb enough to make an agreement at the moment, so maybe we can build that in our journey together.
Well, I'd like to think that we've got a good mutual understanding of everyone around. We know where our
Sure.
agendas kind of are.
It certainly sounds like she's got a good understanding of Seb. So
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
go with Sisu goes before
He's quite
Seb.
happy to be looking Susu in the back.
And
I'll
what have we
always. Yep, go ahead.
It's all right. I'm just aware of the time, guys, because
Yeah,
we've
go
got
for
a
it, go
big
for it.
group here. Bob, what's Merle got initiative wise?
I'm rocking a 6.
A 6. Okay. That actually puts you right in between.
We will save today eventually.
Yeah, let's do it like that.
Tim Forcent wants to know what level the game is. with a +4.
It's a 2. Also, hi to everybody in chat. Tinfoil Saint, most of you guys know as Judge Zach, I guess.
Yeah.
Who also runs DCC on this era channel.
That's a marvelous job too.
And I'd also like to say hey to Billion Babble. That's Will from Inked Adventures, a good mate of mine, produces some absolutely amazing products. And speaking of products, we're doing a giveaway on the stream tonight, only in Twitch. Is it #MonsterMe, Phil?
Boom. There we go.
There you go.
Me.
Yeah, MonsterMe, #MonsterMe, and you get a chance to win a PDF copy of the adventure thanks to Goodman Games. So thank you very much. That's absolutely awesome. I think that's just Erin now for the initiative.
Frazzle got an 8. I thought I was quite low in the initiative, but
Oh no.
Second,
no.
apparently.
Oh no.
Cool. All righty. So first up is Letty Jane. Jen, what's Letty Jane doing? Do you want to go look for the pasta, or these? So that you've got these 3 menacing figures sort of moving towards you. One of them wielding this.
And this is the center of the city. So if I try to use like word of command or something and tell them to leave, the chance of them continuing to terrorize another area of our
this is the Shudder Mountains. Yeah, they could move on. There isn't actually another town within probably a good day's travel, but Star Notch, it sprawls. You know, you've got the town centre. There are little farms and outbuilding, farms and homesteads, I guess, in the surrounding area. So yeah.
Honestly, my goal is to make it into the chapel to see what damage they've done inside, but that means I've got to get past them. So I'm gonna start out with Holy Sanctuary.
Sweet. That sounds like a good one.
Well, you say that. I'll take my point of disapproval and be happy with it.
The sovereign is not yet ready to cast his light upon.
It's early. I understand. It's not. I get it. We were all woken up, man.
Sovereign's still in his place.
Maybe the sovereign's still asleep. You know, you've drawn his attention, however, to this, this heinous crime.
You're hanging some dodgy dudes and do that.
Well, possibly,
yourself included.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And honest Seb. Whew. I could tell you stories.
Honestly. Erin, what's Frazzle going to do?
Well, with these 3 things in front of him, are they all in a line? Is one closer than the other?
I guess the closest to you is the lizard-headed one that's brandishing the this burning torch with the black fire.
That's not fire. This is fire. And he's going to cast flaming hands at the lizard man with the flaming torch.
Okay.
Let's see how well we do. I think I have a bad D20 today. Oh, 12 in total. Let's have a look. What does that give us? A single blast of fire strikes one target within the range for 1d3 points of damage. So for 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage against the lizard-headed man, I guess.
Now you know why they call me Frazzle.
So he lets out a howl or a yelp and sort of leaps back. It's Merle up next, I believe.
Oh, okay. How far away is the lizard-headed guy?
So he would be. You're standing in the street, and they're just in front of the steps, so probably only about 15 feet away.
Oh, perfect then. Oh, 15 feet away.
Yeah, they're blocking your entrance to the steps that lead into the chapel.
Well, that's not a big issue. I'm going to charge him with my cudgel. My mighty deed is going to be to knock the torch aside and into the snow. So I'm going to try and knock that into the snow.
Okay, sounds fantastic.
Well, it's only a 2 on the deed, 15, 16, but a total of a 21 to hit.
Okay, so you charge into him. You're taking in your +2 for the charge, I'm sure.
Yep.
I mean, that's a hit is a hit. And how much damage do you do?
That's going to be 7 points.
7 points of damage. So he yells out. He clutches at his arm with his free hand. You weren't able to dislodge the torch, but yeah, you've hit him hard in the arm, and yeah, he howls some and sort of glances around, waiting. He glances as he takes the hit at his two colleagues. Give me a luck check, please, Bob.
Sure thing. I got a 5 under 13.
Awesome. Okay, so not only does he glance left and right as he's at the two colleagues, he also glances over your shoulder.
Doe.
Make of that what you will. Sizu.
I've been training for this my entire life. So I immediately pull bow out of my quiver and I follow his gaze to behind Merle. And what do I see when I whip around as I turn my back to them and I look behind Merle?
Okay. You see a weasel-headed creature running up from behind, just in the shadows, just sort of crossing the other side of the street, clearly trying to sort of sneak up to you and make some sort of sneak attack.
Since that was, I don't know if that would be considered movement. Do I still have an action?
You still have an action, yes. So spinning around.
All right. So I am going to look at the weasel, smile, and say, "Small game, eh?" And I'm going to shoot a shot with my longbow, and I don't know about that. Got a 2 on the deed die. That's an 8 plus 2, so that is a 10. So does a 10 hit?
A 10 doesn't, no.
All right, so I let that arrow fly, but my eyes are locked on the weasel as it tries to weasel and escape.
Weasley weasel. Thank you. Honest Seb. Honestly.
All right. You know, fair enough, fair dues. Right. Okay. So I've seen that Weasley thing trying to show off how good it is to sneak around behind people's backs, and he's not doing a very good job of it. I'm going to have a go myself.
Okay.
So
just going to step back from the fire?
Or sideways to the fire. But I mean, my intention is to be in a position where I can go and backstab someone.
Sure. Okay. Give me a hide in shadows.
I did not do a very good job. Right, so that is a 10. Quite right.
There's a lot of people running around. Yeah, I mean, you know, on a normal night when there wasn't a great burning building, a lot of people carrying buckets and shouting "fire, fire!" That you know, but yeah, you're not convinced that you
put that light on.
You stepped back a little. Okay, that takes us to Derby. Jules, what's Derby?
All right. Well, I'm armed with neither half a pound of tuppenny rice or half a pound of treacle, but I'm going to still see if I can
take
make
a point
that
of look, pop. Jules, thank you very much.
But also get out.
All right. All right. Yeah. You can get out. At least no one's going fire, pants on fire, you big liar. Right. So with my heavy musical claves, one of 2, I'm going to try and slap him twice.
Okay.
You know, right. D16 a go.
Okay. You're aiming at, sorry, was this the weasel you're aiming at?
Yeah.
Okay.
First weasel hit is a mere 12.
Okay. That's not going to hit anything, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll spend a point of luck, the extra one that you just gave me, which means it's an extra 2.
Well, so come and they go, but that's not going to make it hit either.
Oh, poo. Right then. Well, I'll try and hit with the other one. That's not going to hit either. That would be 11. So
Okay,
I'm slapping
but
him
you are
big, but it's not doing nothing.
Okay, so you're now standing toe to toe with the weasel, swinging these these bows. You say?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm probably poking him at the end. I've got it wrong, haven't I? It's like comes straight off a really good tune, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. The energy, the wrong tune, perhaps. I don't know.
Probably. That's what happens
Okay.
when you try and play folk music.
Oh well, folk
If we were
music.
Morris
or,
dancers, we would have clubbed
is
them to death by now.
Well, and Kaves, you kind of hold like this and tap them together. So yeah, that's not the right grip for a weapon.
New.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. The weasel is going to have a crack at Darby. I think it's only fair because he's come and waved these things in his face. And it's
He's
actually
had
going to try
worse
and
waved
bite
in
you.
his face. Let's be honest.
He probably has. That is going to be that's going to be a 15. I think that was the number you might have been aiming for, Jules. Does that hit you at all?
It does, but at least I know.
So he bites you. He bites you for 5 points of damage.
Oh, that's quite hectic. Okay, fine. Ooh.
And Bob, toe to toe, I think with the lizard-headed
Oh, I'm gonna get
beast, and it swings. It's recovered from your attack, and it swings its torch-bearing hand at you. It's gonna get that would be an 8 with its modifier. That's probably.
Well, keep in mind I charged my AC this round is only a 10.
It is indeed. So that is actually going to hit you. I need you, please, to make a reflex save. And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to tell you that you are taking 5 points of burning damage. What was your
And
reflex
I'm pretty
save?
sure I'm on fire because I rolled a 5.
Yeah. So you are indeed on fire, which doesn't do any additional. 1d6 fire damage this round. You can attempt your reflex save again next round, and we'll see if you continue to burn. That does you an additional 5 points of damage.
All right.
So that would be the weasel and the lizard. The stoat is going to charge forward. Let's do some. Who's got the lowest luck out of the remaining characters that have not yet been hit?
I got a 10.
I have a 13.
Any lower than 10?
I'm also at a 10.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes life a little bit easier. So the stoat is going to take a swing at Letty Jane. That's an 11.
No.
No. And I think the remaining one is snake-headed. And that's not going to hit Frazzle either. So we're back to the top of the initiative with Letty Jane.
So the stoat is one of the 3 in front of this chapel, correct?
That's right. He stepped up to you, though, now and engaged
no.
with you. Tried to bite you, in fact.
Heaving on that stave, and no. I've got to get inside. I've got to get past this. Well, that's only going to be. It's a little early to spend that much luck yet, so I'll call an 8 a miss, probably.
Yeah.
Total is an 8.
Yeah.
It's early, man.
Absolutely. So we got another miss, but we have a weasel and we have a stoat. We have both a stoat and a weasel, just to answer a question in chat. So apologies if I get these two mixed up, but I think we're keeping it straight so far.
So we got 4.
Yes, 4 in
There was
total.
Okay, there's
Right,
4 in total, not 3.
The
Okay.
weasel is the one behind us that they're
That's
dealing
right.
with.
Listen, there's some double weasel accent.
Yeah.
There's like
There
2 weasels.
is, and there must be a word for that I don't know. Pine Martin. We're
Well,
going off on a
bendy,
tangent
twisty
here. We really
things.
don't know. Yeah. Things Northerners put down the trousers, Jules. You know what I mean?
They're ferrets, mate. Oh,
Oh,
you don't want
fairy
one of those.
snakes.
Very nice, Chief.
Mm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Frazzle.
Frazzle.
Sort it out.
Yeah. Turns to the snake. Don't you dare try to hit me. Flame on. And he's going for his fire hands again. Oh. It's a 10. I'm gonna burn some luck. I don't want to lose it. I'm gonna burn 2 points of luck if I can, please. And I'm going to. That takes us to a 12. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong spell sheet. Excuse me a second.
No worries. Take your
You'd
time.
never expect. I'm a GM, and I've got.
I
too much
absolutely
stuff
would,
in
because
front
this
of
is
me.
how I handle spell books.
Yeah.
Usually bits
Thousands of bits of paper.
coming at me.
Everywhere.
Well, I have many bits here and a clipboard. Just show off my clipboard to distract from Erin.
Okay, so we got a 12, which again is a single blast of fire striking the target, and it's 1d3 points of damage. This time it's 2 points of damage.
Cool. Now, last time you hit the lizard, are you going to go for the lizard again, or did you say snake?
No, I was hitting the snake because the snake took a
snake.
swing at me.
Oh, it did indeed. Right, so 2 points of damage to the snake. It hisses, forked tongue, does snake stuff. You know what snake. Phil and Erin have some beautiful snakes, and clearly that's exactly how snakes move. I think that is beautifully coordinated.
I have amateur dramatic snakes, so yes.
Oh, okay. Somebody clip that. Bob, Merle's up next. Is he going to try and put the fire out?
Merle's on fire. His beard's getting shorter. He's going to look
God, no.
straight into the eyes of the lizard and say, "What? You think a blacksmith's afraid of fire?" And
good point.
I'm going to pummel him again, once again, trying to knock that flaming brand off into the snow.
Do you want to take a reflex save first? Or...
Now I'll take the reflex save after.
Okay, that's fine. What did you get?
It's going to be an 18 and a 3 on the deed.
18 is a hit, and the deed goes off. The flaming torch with the black fire sails from his hand. Give me a luck check, Bob.
Okay. That'll be 11 under 13.
Okay, so it hits the snow and it sputters. It's not gone out immediately, but it's well out of reach, and it's in a puddle. It's not fortuitously landed, somewhere where it can burn free. And
that'll be 7 points of damage.
Ouch! 7 points of damage against the lizard is enough to finish him. So he slumps.
As he falls, I will say, "'Cause we are," and at that point, I will try to stop, drop, and roll with my movement.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Sisu.
I immediately see the lizard fall over my shoulder, and I think I got to get some of that leather later. But for now, I'm going to shoot another arrow at our Weasley Weasel. And the deed went off. I got a 4 on my deed die. Got a 15 plus 2. So 15 plus 2 is 21.
That's a hit.
And so damage is D6 plus 1 plus 4. So D6 plus 5. And I rolled a 4. So 9 damage. And that's straight at the weasel. And since the deed went off, I want to do a headshot.
Okay. All right. So with the longbow?
Don't you know, Bo?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a headshot. It actually goes through an ear, grazes the back of the weasel's head, and he flails around. You can see, it cuts a slash through the fur. The fur's parted and is instantly pouring blood. It's still on his feet, but he is
Keeps
not
the
looking.
pelt mostly intact. I'm happy with it.
I like it. Okay. Honest Seb.
Still convinced that he can find a better way to deal with this situation. he tries again to hide in shadows, and realizes, oh, why was I going that way? As I rolled a 14.
A14. I think you'd
Tricky
be
one,
more
isn't it?
confident you were hitting if you know, if that was a little bit higher. I mean, you're a thief, so it's
Yeah,
not hard, right?
No, it's true. I mean,
A lot of people rushing
You know.
around here, a lot of clamour going on.
yeah. I mean, what about if it was like a 16?
Oh, 16, yeah.
I rolled a 16.
You know, honest Seb just melts into the shadows. Beautiful.
Honest.
He was made of ice after all.
For
Be
anyone
back
else,
again someday.
for anyone who doesn't know, I burned 2 points of luck to do that.
Wait, you're a thief.
Okay.
You burn a point of luck and roll a luck die. Did you roll 2 ones?
That's true. I'm being an idiot. It's been a while. Sorry. In which case, I burned a point of luck. Let me see. Where the
Thanks,
hell is
Bob.
my D4? Oh, thank you. Yes.
I'm
Nice
sure
one.
we're going to need luck later.
Well, I'm not even being able to find my D4 at the moment. Hang on.
But you know,
I thought I dropped-
that time at a convention when you're running an adventure and the author walks up and just swings by, you know. Hi, Brendan.
Hello, Brendan.
Hey, Brendan. How you doing?
They're having a lot of fun with it so far, right?
It's
So
fine.
the Phil has hit the thief.
The Phil.
The honest Seb, the Phil. There are many Phils, but this
There are
one's
many
ours.
Phils, and none of them seem to have a D4 available. What the hell is going on?
For God's sake, Philip.
God, you want one of these?
Yeah, one of
cool.
those. There we go.
These 12-sided D4s. They're cool.
That would be good. That was actually a 4
But
anyway.
I'm fairly confident you definitely melted into the shadows.
Melty.
Darby.
Right. Okay. Well, I am going to carry on with. Hang on. Has this weasel got himself a flaming torch like all the others?
No, it was just a lizard that seems to have set this fire.
Right.
Or set
Then. Well,
these weird
I
springs
am going to I'm going to give him another double slap and see whether we get anywhere with this, because we know what we're aiming for this time. Come on, boy. Hang on. How the hell can you cock a dice? Well, I have. Oh, that's more like it. That would be a Mahusive. That's a 14, and I know I need a little bit more than that. So I'm going to spend a point of luck.
That sounds
Which
good.
makes it 16 on the slappage,
Okay.
and we'll hit him with the other one, and that's a natural 16, which I believe is a
16 would
crit.
be a critical hit.
It
Has somebody
is.
got the little purple book to hand?
Ooh. Well, there we go.
Hang on. Hey, let's do that again.
I've got a big red book. Just a second.
Is my name in it?
And mine's
generally.
green, so we're all Christmassy.
Okay.
My
Do you know
green one is over there.
I love playing with you all because it's you guys, but I particularly love the fact I don't have to provide spell books and crit tables, and it's awesome. This game almost
Right.
runs itself.
Right. With my
Give us-
first non-crit,
Remind me who you were swinging for, Jules.
I'm swinging with Weasel Boy. What,
Okay.
Sneaky round that behind, the one that bit me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nobody bites me because, and I get him for 4 points of damage with the one hand, and with the other hand, I'll go have a lot of this, son. Drop the nut or the bow in this case, and it's going to
Yep.
crit him. So
Oh,
I am
beautiful.
rolling on crit table. Ooh, D8 on table 3. That's what I dreamed of. That is D8 table 3. Yeah, table 3. Ooh. That'll be a 5. I smash his nose in. There's an explosion of blood. It's not loud enough for me, but I inflict another D6 damage with this strike, and he loses his sense of smell. How does he smell? Terrible. So he gets the normal damage, which was only 2, and then the other damage, which was far more exciting, which is a 5. So that's
Smashing.
7.
As Ghosty Squid in chat has said, pop goes the weasel. I would like to be able to award chat points of luck. That would definitely be worth one if I could. But yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, pop goes the weasel. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're
going down, son.
The head impact straight to the nose, smashes him in the nose, and he slumps down, dead as a. I mean, you know, some of these things, you know, they do that whole faking dead thing. Some of these animals, you're pretty sure from the blood from the head wound that Sisu inflicted, and then the double-handed attack from Darby there. This thing is very, very dead. So nice one. That's 2 out of action. We've got
Bite me
the
again,
weasel.
mofo.
We still have the weasel and the stoat, which I don't think have taken any damage yet.
The lizard and the stoat?
The snake in the stone.
The
snake
snake,
and the
the snake, the snake and the stoat. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't read my own
Sounds
handwriting.
like an
but-
amazing pub name.
Snake
Right.
and the stoat. There is a snake and there is a stoat. The snake has just been slapped or swung at by Frazzle, I believe. In fact, Frazzle tried to inflict magic upon it, and that's not made it very happy. How does a 10 feel, Frazzle?
You have to try harder than that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised too, considering
Yeah.
he's a wizard.
Oh, absolutely. So the snake snaps at the wizard, fails to make any contact.
Bats him away.
The stoat is going to. I think the stoat's going to try and avenge the weasel and attack Darby, but that would be a 2, not quite a fumble. But they're not having a heck of a lot of luck. They look at each other, having both made a failed attack, and you get the impression that they may be about to make a bolt for it. So back to the top of the initiative in round 3. It's Letty Jane first.
Oh boy. I'm just going to have to try to hit this thing again. It's way too early to properly call on the sovereign, and I have the sneaking suspicion that they may have desecrated something inside the chapel, which could also be harming that line of communication. So,
Of course.
smacking it, and it's supposed to be wassailing, not weaseling.
Oh, that's what you point of luck.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention at how much I need to actually hit this thing.
What did you get? What did you get?
I have +1 luck now, Bruce. That is the result of that action.
Okay, all right. If it was that bad, I mean, you know,
I rolled a
prepared
6.
to negotiate. Oh, okay, yeah, 6 ain't gonna do it. 6 ain't gonna do it. Sorry, Letty. Frazzle's up next, though.
How far away is the black flame torch that the lizard had?
It is about
it
20
still-
feet. You are currently toe-to-toe with the snake. If you want to make a break for it, for the torch, by all means, but the snake will be able to lunge at you.
Yeah, no. Well, he's gonna get he's not really reacting to the flaming hands, is he? He calls upon Stringfellow that's been sitting on his shoulder, and sort of he's able to communicate telepathically with Stringfellow. Stringfellow, I'm gonna swipe. He sort of says in his head, I'm gonna swipe at him with my stick. You go for his eyes. And with that, we're gonna go in for a traditional smack with a big wooden stick. And,
It
at the same-
rarely does bad things. Yeah.
yeah, and whilst distracted, Stringfellow's gonna go in and peck his eyes out.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a 5. So Frazzle frantically distracts the snake man in front of him with this big wooden stick.
Okay.
While
In the hopes that the hawk can attack. The
Yeah.
hawk can attack. Do we have
Yeah,
stats
yeah,
for the hawk?
the hawk, he's got 9 hit points, an AC of 16, And he's got an attack of 5 with a
God, that
damage of
Hawk's got more hit
1d6.
points than me.
We like the Hawk
Nice.
more than we like you too.
14. So that's a 14. Can I spend? Oh no, I can't spend luck. Oh, no, that's not
Why
spend
not?
luck. It's because I'm
Well,
down to
you know.
8.
It's
Fuck it.
kind of early to be in at -1, but you know.
He only had 10 to start with. If I burn a point of luck to get it up to 15, will the Hawk hit?
The Hawk will hit at 15. Yeah.
Okay, we will do that. We'll take that down to a 7. Yeah, so it's 1d6 damage. Pecking for the eyes.
Beautiful. This is the snake. The snake takes 1d6 damage. I'm also going to tell you that he actually just pecks out an eye. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's 1d6. Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry.
Did you want the damage?
Sorry. Yeah, give me the damage.
1d6 damage. It was 4.
Okay. Yeah, still fair. So yeah, he loses. He loses an eye or has a damaged eye.
Did you say that the snake was wearing trousers and things like that?
Yeah. So it's snake
That would
headed.
now make it a one-eyed trouser wearing snake.
You really are going to cream me for luck, but I'm
Do
sorry,
do
that has to-
not give luck for that. Come on.
I am giving luck for
Phrase
it.
cream me.
I like
after
it.
that.
I am also a 12-year-old boy. I'm sorry, Jen, but you know. Keep it up, George. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. I lowered the tone.
I tell you what, if we get another bad one, where if Judge Jen disagrees in future, we're going to throw it to chat to decide whether it's worth luck. Okay.
Ooh,
Just a
wow, the
reminder,
bar got
chat.
really low.
Hashtag Monster Me. If you're watching us on Twitch, if you're watching us on YouTube, come over to
It
Twitch
was.
as well. Open another browser window, add to Bill's viewing figures. It would be awesome. And you get a chance to win. Down there, you get a chance to win the PDF of Brendan's awesome adventure. So I've lost track of where we are. That was Derby. No, it wasn't. That was
No. I'm just being
Frazzle.
rude.
So I believe it is Merle up next.
So that Blackfire torch is still burning, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'm gonna come to think of it. I'm still burning, aren't I? So
Oh yes, we should have we really should have had a reflex save last round, Bob. So should we just retcon last round?
I will do it. Whatever. You don't need to
No.
retcon last round. Last round I rolled a 2, so just give me damage, and I will roll a fire.
That was
Roll
6
a
points of
set.
damage
All right,
last round.
but I have a 16 this round to put myself out.
Okay, so you succeed, Merle. He is indeed the blacksmith and very, very much used to being around fire, and he seems remarkably calm for a man whose beard. I mean, I would be devastated. It was bad enough in 2020 when we all had to wear masks and I had to trim this. It's taken me a long while to grow it back.
I've burned a beard from here all the way up and taken out my eyelashes, Bruce.
But
so
that's
this
because
is
you
not-
do silly things with fire, Bob, or you certainly used to. I've seen the
I
pictures.
did impressive things with fire. That's what I did.
I'm sure they were both silly and impressive. But
I was going to
But what are you
sideline
doing
this
with-
one using to light my pipe, but he's putting things out now.
so you're going to take the full round. I think it's fair to put yourself out. But you are aware, it's taken some time. You've extinguished the flames, and you are aware. You see this torch still sputtering. Let's move on to Sisu, whose name I'm probably
whip
still not
around.
pronouncing right.
And point my bow and arrow at the stoat. Is anyone currently engaged with the stoat?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Lily Jane.
Okay. I lower my bow and I want to do a running attack with my hunting spear
Okay.
in
Going to do this as a
hand.
charge, so +2 to hit, but -2 to AC.
Okay, -2 to my AC, like as I.
Yeah, but you get a
Okay.
+2 to hit.
Okay, +2, and I am just really dreaming of adding a stoat collar to my wool cloak. So I
All
Make
the
my
stylish
attack.
warriors are wearing them.
say that again.
All the stylish warriors are wearing them this season.
Yeah, I
Totally.
mean, you're really up on the trends. I go to you for a lot of guidance. Okay, so +2 to my attack makes that roll a 19. The D die was a 2, makes it a 21. -1 makes it a non-natural 20. Damage is a D8 -1 plus deed, so we'll just do a +1 from the deed. Grab my D8. And I rolled a 1 on the D8, so I got 2 damage as I just start to pierce the stoat as I approach.
Okay, yeah. So Sisu charges at the stoat. Jen, Letty's probably, flinching out the way. I don't know. You guys work together, so you're probably not surprised to see this spear followed by a Sisupa right behind. And she strikes glances a blow across the stoat's ribcage through its clothes, clearly doing some damage there. And it sort of howls. And again, as this happens, it's scoping the place out, looking for an opportunity to run. That is time for I would say it's surely it's time for Honest Seb to act, but we can't see him.
He's a little bit way.
So you just hear. Hang on, let me find my appropriate die. How is a 16 on a backstab for the stoat?
That's a hit.
So you just heard.
Because it's a backstab, it's a critical hit.
Yeah. So super, you just hear no, you don't. You're no weasel. And
That was a stoat.
Exactly.
We all know the difference. I'm not getting these two confused at all. Thanks, Brendan. It's weasel and a stoat. What were you thinking, man?
And I'll kind of step in just next to where Susu's come in with her attack.
What weapon are you using here?
That's a very good question.
Because
A
remember,
city makes a short sword, apparently.
Okay. So I think a short sword's just straight the regular damage.
I don't seem to have a dagger. I didn't
the
realise
garrote and the dagger have some great backstab damage.
Yeah. Thanks for making a thief with no dagger, Brendan.
He thought he was here to see how much fun we were having with this adventure. And we're going to mock his pre-gens and his NPCs. We love you.
No, it's fine. I'll just take it straight out. That's not a problem.
Okay, roll the
so
damage, man.
Is that D6?
D6 for a short sword, yeah.
That's 5.
Beautiful. That is pretty decent.
Brendan says, "You got it, Phil."
All right. So you stab. He screams out in agony as you slide that in, but that short sword in. It doesn't take him down though, unless we get a better effect off the crit, because we all know a successful backstab by a thief is an automatic crit. So
do I still get that even though it was a short sword?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
A backstab equals a crit, and then 12. To be honest, if you're backstabbing with a dagger, sometimes you don't even need a crit. But it's what we love about DCC.
8.
An 8.
And where's my crit table? Crit table 2. Okay. Apparently I'm, mind you, it's modified by luck, isn't it? So, he stumbles over his own limbs, falling prone. Make another attack.
Right, stoats do that.
Yeah, so I will do that. So basically I run up and kind of step out of the shadows, stab him. Go, "You're no weasel." And he stumbles over his feet and falls on the floor, and I'm just going to basically stab him in the face.
Nice. And Zach, we did a trouser snake joke. Is that not close enough? It's just like a penis joke, but classier.
I got a natural 20 on that.
Oh,
yeah!
Stacking crits. Beautiful. Oh, dear.
So, damn it, where have I put that die? There it is. And that is... And the 10 on the crit die.
Nice.
Okay, so damage is that. 3, 8, 13, as I did a masterful strike.
You can stop counting.
Yeah. So he stumbles over, and then I just go. "Ugh," in
He
his face.
falls towards you, and you just put the tip of that short sword straight down his throat.
Kebab, anyone?
Stone kebab crumples to your feet.
I then pick it up and take it over to the fire.
Nice one. So that was Seb, and Jules. What's Darby doing? We now
who's
only have the snake-headed chap.
The snake-headed chap. Oh, he looks like the target then. So I'm going to stand on one leg. I'm going to take my my trusty what is it? Yeah, my deer horn slingshot. That's the thing. And I'm going to sing a little song, and it's going to go. Forgive me, everybody, just forgive me. Let me bring you songs from the wood to make you feel much better than you could know. Dust you down from top to toe, show you how the garden grows, and I'm going to let him have it between the eyes. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
With my best Ian Anderson impersonation. It's actually my second best Ian Anderson impersonation. Well, that is 15 on the nail, mate.
Yeah, that's a good job, because it was still toe to toe with Frazzle the Hedge Wizard. You know, I would hate for you to miss and hit the wizard.
I like Frazzle.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hit Frazzle.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
Yeah, good. Yeah, right. Bit of that, bit of this, bit of a 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah.
It hits
It's one of my
so-
best stones, that.
Yeah. I would say right between the eyes, but you probably hit it on the nose, given the anatomy of a snake and the distance between the eyes and all that.
Frankly, with that stone, I rock.
The tongue sort of flicks out and sort of goes vertical over its face, and if a snake can look stunned, this thing certainly does. Okay, but it is still on its feet, and I say feet because it has the head of a snake and the body of a person.
Still got the one eye though.
It still has only got one eye,
Okay.
and it now knows well and truly what's going on, and it's going to try and escape. So that was a ranged attack. So I think the only person really in melee with it is Frazzle the Wizard, but it is going to try and break for it. It's going to try and duck around the back of the church. Hopefully sort of distracted with everybody else distracted. There is now, you notice, quite an organized chain of buckets, and it looks like the flames are starting to die down. They do seem like they're going to get this thing under control, but yeah, the snake's going to try and escape, but Frazzle, Erin, you get a free attack while it does so.
Gonna try and hit him with me stick, and it's a 4. Yeah, no.
No.
I mean, not even if I helped you, it wouldn't.
It's moving remarkably quickly. It ducks and glides, although it's running on presumably human feet and under those breeches. But it's obviously moving far too fast for Frazzle. And we're back to the top of the initiative with Letty. What do you want to do, Jem?
Okay. Well, Sisu coming in, that's a nice exit point for me to take a step back. And looking around, Merle ain't looking so good.
Merle is like wiping away blistered skin and is glistening. Yeah,
I have this driving imperative need to enter the chapel, but leaving cohorts in that state, I don't think the Sovereign would view that very kindly either. So Merle, take this water skin, have a little bit of Grandpa's moonshine while I attempt to draw some power and heal you.
Awesome.
We'll see if I can be heard yet this morning. Yes, finally. What is your alignment, sir?
My alignment is lawful.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
Take full, then 2 hit dice.
Oh, hallelujah.
Indeed.
Well,
Super.
that'll put me back to full.
I mean, do we have to sing carols at this point? Hallelujah seems a little bit
I was down by
ambitious for
16
an
points.
opener.
Hallelujah was appropriate.
I'm not averse to awarding points of luck or possibly a roll on the old advent calendar table if we do get a song out of a festive song out of you guys at some point tonight. But
But maybe not
no
in the middle
pressure.
of initiative.
Probably not in the mission. No, quite possibly. That was Letty. I think Fazl's up next.
Stringfellow, after him!
If we do agree to sing a song, can we all agree to sing the same one? That's going to be helpful.
I mean, for sure.
Doubtful.
Just so you're setting your hawk on the snake.
Yes, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so we're setting the hawk upon the snake as a sort of natural order to things, hawks and snakes. And he goes for it, and he does a lot better than me hitting with a stick. He gets a 23. Does that hit?
A 23 definitely hits.
And it's a D6 damage. There's only 2 that time.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So how's he attacking?
So he's coming down, sort of swinging in from the top, and he's it doesn't say exactly whether it's a bite or a claw. So he's going in for clawing this time. He sort of scrapes along the top of the snake man's head.
Okay.
To put a
So
gouge
yeah,
on
I mean, you see Stringfellow land claws, onto the head. You see blood. Stringfellow rockets off back into the sky. Snake Man staggers but is still on his feet. And Merle, freshly healed.
Yeah. Well,
He's
how
now
far
a good
away?
30. He's now a good 30 feet away from you though, because he broke out of the melee quite hard.
Well, I can close 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So freshly healed, I will charge straight back into combat, and I'm going to come in low. I'm going to come in at his knees with a trip attack. If I don't take him out, I don't want him getting away.
Okay.
I might have questions for old Sneaky Snake here. Or it's a 20 and a 4 on the deed. I might have just killed him. That was about 20. So that's let me do my regular damage, and then I'll look at my crit.
I mean, crits are fun, so don't let me stop you after the regular damage. But
okay, well that's going to be 9 points of regular damage, and then a D14.
oof.
Strike shatters foe's breastbone. He needs to make a fort save here against 17 or fall unconscious as his organs collapse.
Yeah. So here's what happens. Merle charges at the snake creature. Yeah, I see big burly blacksmith Merle, stomping. You see clouds of smoke clouds of snow kicked up from Merle's heels, and there is of course still probably a little bit of smoke and ash coming off his beard. And he goes for what I would call a rugby tackle, and there is a sickening crunch as Merle's attempt to restrain is perhaps a little overzealous, and he does indeed crush the poor snake man. Well, he was setting fire to a church, so crush the snake man in a bear hug, and he collapses in just a crumpled mess, clearly dead. It's forked tongue hanging at an unnatural angle, and dead in your arms, Merle. So we're out of initiative, folks.
You've not cuddled someone to death again, have you?
I bet
It happened.
Did he pop his other eye out?
Yes, it's at a funny angle, as is the tongue. So yeah.
Oh
yeah.
well.
I
Well,
immediately
should
go
be
to
good.
work with my skinning knife, just like Stoat, Weasel, Lizard. Like, I'm just like, I leave the snake alone. Like, that's fine. But like,
Oh, come on! I want some
Sisu,
snakes in
aren't
boots.
you a hunter, Sisu?
yeah, but I use all
Can
parts
you
of the
maybe
animal.
track where those things came from?
Yeah, since we didn't get to ask him any questions, I'll use my tracking ability to see if we can see any footprints. So as I look around the church, do I see any sort of like footprints of which direction they approached?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there are footprints absolutely everywhere, and at first it's just complete chaos. It does look, by the way, that the townsfolk seem to have the fire under control. I'm sure Letty Jane will be pleased to see that. Yeah, those black flames are the last to sort of die down as they go bucket after bucket. Yeah, the chain or the bucket gangs made the initial investigation very difficult. But you are able, thankfully, because this is happening in the middle of the night, to make out some odd-shaped footprints that can only be these creatures. Quick look around confirms everybody else is human within should folk norms, without wanting to be politically incorrect, but varying sizes and heights and so on and so forth. But yeah, there's a set of 4. In fact, 3 and 1 following behind, which lines up with the weasel's behaviour earlier, and they seem to be coming from northeast of town. There has been snowfall. It's not going to be. It's not. It's going to take some effort to track, but you're fairly confident with your background and your skills that you will be able to head out and find where at least which direction they came from.
Can I enter the chapel at this point?
Yes. Yeah. The last of the flames are being doused, and you see a solitary figure taking a deep breath and surveying the damage. Presumably, the pastor or the churchman.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to identify yourself as a cleric of the sovereign? Or?
Oh, yes. If that hadn't already been done upon entering this town in the first place. Sure, Letty Jane. Are you well?
In body, but my spirit's grievously hurt by this foul attack.
I understand.
He looks around. He says, just a few nights before the most holy night of the year. And it seems he only just recognizes you for who you are. Forgive me.
Holy symbol.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Normally I would welcome you to our humble, but I promise you, normally well kept and well presented chapel here.
No. We know it's not your fault. We hope it is not your fault. I have been to worse. It is okay. How? So you'd not seen these creatures before?
Never. I have a human congregation. No, that they would, of course. I mean, not to say that people who aren't. Gosh, I'm confused. But everybody is welcome in the sovereign's house, of course. But they are, yes, not familiar to me. I'm sure I would have recognized them.
Yes. Do what you can here, and my friends and I will try to figure out what went wrong.
That would be that. I would be so grateful if. Anything that we can do to return the chapel, as you know, we'll be celebrating Sovereign Night just a couple of nights from now. I would be very grateful.
Of course, we must hold back the evil in the woods.
We must indeed, and thank you in advance for anything that you and your friends, your slightly odd friends.
Have any of your congregation gone missing in the past week?
It's funny you should say that, but yes, we are really quite concerned for 2 of my flock.
2, okay.
Maisel and Ming are missing. If you could look for them, that would be wonderful.
Maisel and Ming. Got it. Yes, and I won't take up any more of Judge Bruce's time, but you know where I'll be.
Yes. Okay, let's quickly go around the table then. Sisu obviously is out tracking, trying to. Your gut feeling that they came in from the northeast, and Darby, anything you want to do? Anything you want to ask?
Well, I was going to sidle up to Letty Jane and go, "Excuse me, miss, I don't want to impose myself, but can you have a look at my weasel bite? Are they? Is it skeptic? Because it looks a bit off. Can you do anything about it, miss?"
I am skeptical that it is septic.
Well, I don't know. They might be poisonous. I don't know nothing
I
about
can-
stoats or weasels. I mean, they might have venoms or nothing.
Yes, once I'm done making niceties and ensuring that the chapel can still be secured and closed and everything. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
So much. No. I rolled a 3,
Oh,
which is not quite in massive disapproval range, but it will be next time.
Okay. The sovereign does not approve, and is not.
my arm's
able-
looking a bit nasty.
Perhaps he is somewhat distracted, but yeah, we'll come back. Honest Seb.
Well, honestly, I wouldn't want to let these corpses go to waste, so I better just double check that there's nothing that would look better on a display table, maybe in a retail establishment.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah. Okay. So you're
Loot their corpses.
looting the corpses.
Are you having them stuffed and mounted?
That's not a bad idea. I mean, one of them's sort of kind of in kebab form at the moment, so.
Yeah.
They each have a purse or pouch with a few coppers and a couple of silver. But other than the clothes on their back, which are actually of quite fine make, probably city make. You know, they're not they're not country bumpkins. These they're not carrying a heck of a lot.
And I call out to the group exactly what's on them to the letter in terms of inventory.
You can in the interest in saving time. I'm not going to
no, but
inventory them, but yeah.
No, but in terms of I actually give a full inventory. Right, this one's got this, and this.
Yeah,
and I don't miss a
perfect. Yeah, super. Bob, what's Merle doing?
I'm going to bolster the town's spirits. I'm gonna pull the bucket brigade together now that they're done, and I'm going to lead them in a sovereign carol.
Beautiful.
Well, I'll provide musical accompaniment.
Through snow and fog and sleeting, his light does shine, and all darkness dispels. His voice is on the breeze, through the mountains calling, sovereign, sovereign, his light does shine, and all dark it dispels.
Beautiful. Yay. Thank you, Bob. Fantastic. So I think the rousing song of our former blacksmith turned warrior and the care and consideration of our cleric should result, I think, in us taking a roll. So, Bob, do you want to give me a percentile roll? And this is from the adventure advent calendar. So if you get this in print, and I will definitely be picking this up when it finally gets its way to the UK, you actually get a scratch off advent calendar, which is going to be fun to do. I'll probably save it for next Christmas, I think. What do we get, Bob?
92.
No, it's not scratch and sniff. It's just, well, I mean, you know, I don't
Scratch and snort.
Opportunity missed. It could have
You
smelled
probably
of
could.
pine
Mm,
mince
Violent.
pie.
Shove
You've got a
throat
mince
smells.
pie.
I mean, what did you get, Bob?
A
you.
92.
A 92. So you, and I'm going to give this to the group because it's quite appropriate. You can never become lost while in the Shudder Mountains. You always know which way is north. So there's a little blessing for you, even if unfortunately Letty Jane. I don't know that it's necessarily Letty Jane's failure, other than the Sovereign is clearly trying to take care of the pastor's flock, and you know he's otherwise disposed, perhaps. Erin, what's Frazzle doing?
Has anybody picked up that black flaming torch? Is it
Nobody
still?
has.
Frazzle's going to saunter over and pick it up off the floor and
Okay.
inspect it.
All right. So you hold this thing, and as you lift it out of the snow, it sputters and sparks back into its full flame. So it hasn't in any way been extinguished by the ice and the snow that it was lying in. Two arms of flame sort of flicker and almost like they're lunging out at you, which sort of instinctively makes you want to sort of hold it more at arm's length. There is something very unholy about this flame. Whilst I don't know Frazzle's alignment or consideration or care, you're certainly aware that this is something that would be quite unpleasant and viewed poorly by Letty Jane.
Looks at it and goes, "Oh, this is a bad thing. This is not a good thing for us." He holds on to it for now, but he's thinking about how to put it out.
Okay.
Is there a bucket of water around?
There is, yeah. There are still many buckets of water.
Can he pop over and stick it in the bucket of water?
Yeah, so you thrust it down into the bucket. There is a mighty hiss, and the bucket actually seems to be bubbling and almost boiling. Steam comes up, and you're aware that you're actually the bucket starts to overflow, because the further you push the flame into the bucket, it's like it's repelling the water. It's like you're pushing a cushion of air, and it cannot apparently be extinguished by mundane means.
I know what we're gonna do this sovereign night.
Sort of takes it back out, clearly still burning, and goes, "Ah, poo. I've got an unextinguishable evil flame. It must come in handy."
You have the
People made a
blacksmith.
complete career out of things like that.
Yeah. Come, Stringfellow, we must rejoin the group.
You're going to hold on to it, okay?
Yeah. Having tried to put it out and it won't go out, it's like, yeah, this is maybe going to be useful. So yeah, holds on to it.
Okay.
He doesn't like it. His alignment is lawful, so
Okay.
he really, it's making him feel a bit. Ugh.
Cool. All right, so let's have a group consensus. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
With all of us imbued in just a blessed feeling of never being lost, we know exactly where Northeast is.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
Mhm.
I still think we need to get rid of the evil black flame with hands and arms that reaches out to grab and burn things. Maybe it needs holy water.
Has anybody gotten an idea?
I look at Letty.
Stick my head back in the nave. Oh, brother, do we have any water handy for blessings? Or might we borrow?
Well, we
you
have
and
blessed
your talents?
with an abundance. He looks up and some water drips from the blackened rafters and tries to joke. You can see he's somewhat hurt, but he invites you to step forward, and there is of course a font, and he holds his hands up, and you say a prayer together, and yeah, you of course have access. By all means, refill your skins and your water bottles.
All right, let's see if Holy Water puts this out. Because I'm not going to offer to bring that torch into the church. This is like a very bad idea. Yeah. So, how's it like them apples, Bruce?
Extinguishing with holy water has the desired effect, but there's a delayed reaction. So you put some into a bucket or something, I guess, and maybe say a prayer as you thrust down in a similar fashion to Frazzle's attempt with the mundane water, and there is a hiss, and this thing fights all the way. For a second, you see these arms of flame like they're reaching up for your hand, and you bring a second hand down, thrust it down into the bucket, and the resistance fades and the fire is out.
The sovereign does provide.
Yay.
For your fine work and quick thinking, Letty Jane, remove a point of disapproval.
Oh, fancy. I seem to be a little out of sorts. So I'll glance over to Darby and kind of give him the head of toward the brother.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your next best bet here.
Okay. I will sidle up to the brother and go, all right, my dude.
My son.
Listen, it looks a bit messed up in your church. If I put a few of these pews back for you and help you out, can you have a look at my weasel bite? I'm a bit worried about it. It might be skeptic. It's scabbed over something nasty.
Where did the weasel bite you? He's clearly terrified of the answer.
Listen, ain't no ladies present. I'll show you.
Okay, no. Hey, let me lay on my hands. I do not believe I need direct contact. He holds out his hand to the affected area. Jen, would you be so kind as to roll for me? We'll assume the stats are the same as you.
Why? You don't want my dice, Bruce. That's the whole idea. What? Oh God, the same stats as me. He's gonna have to burn 2 points of luck to make it happen.
Can I help him with that?
I guess. I mean, you're a lucky son of a gun.
I got every bit of faith in you, my lad.
My apologies. I do have a total of a 13. I was looking at as an attack roll.
Okay.
So that will be the bare minimum.
Okay, so that would be 1 dice, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I forget what your dice is because you're a lucky son.
I
of a
don't
gun.
know.
Is
It's
it
a
6
I
weird
think it's a
thing.
D6.
It probably
It's
is.
akin to a halfling
Halfling.
and thief.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take some of that.
I think I
back
got
then.
that right, Brendan.
Jen, do you happen to know if this class ever got written up at risk of making some work for Brendan?
Brendan
Insert
says-
blank stare here.
Oh, okay. No, I just, I thought I'd ask the oracle. I mean,
There.
so
Boss says yes.
it did. Cool. Awesome. I mean,
Yeah, well-
I've seen it, but it would be fantastic.
Somewhere, yeah. Where
I mean,
is
for
it,
those of you
Brendan?
unfamiliar in chat, we're running an adventure set in the Shudder Mountains, which is generally played human-centric. You can, of course, bring halflings, elves, and dwarves into it if you wish. But we've got a lucky son of a gun who does roughly compare to the old halfling DCC stats, and it's a lot of fun to play this class. So, what did you get, Jules?
I got 4 + 1, so that'll be 5.
Super. Okay. Alrighty.
Which gets
Phil,
me back up, which is what he bit me for in the first place. So it looks a lot better, but it's an interesting scar. I can show ladies later.
Okay. We like an interesting scar, don't we? Okay, so we are we're not quite a couple of hours in. We didn't start till 1:30, did we? So let's keep going a little way and decide which way we're going to go. I'm just cognizant that we need to take a short break at some point. I certainly will be ready
I've
for
got
another beer
old.
in about
I've
20
drunk
minutes,
coffee.
but let's see what happens.
Very quickly, also, we will be announcing the winner of the of our little competition to win a PDF copy of this very adventure after the intermission.
Okay, so we'll aim to do that in about 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, so if you want
Depending on what
to
kind of
win a
chaos.
copy of the PDF, and we
Yep.
have one available, then it's #MonsterMe in the Twitch chat. So yeah,
Big thanks to Goodman Games for donating that. I really appreciate it. That's fantastic. You should all go out. Of course, you should or after the competition, you should go out and buy a copy. But so where did we decide to go? Sisu, I presume you sort of pointing in the direction you
Northeast.
think these.
Well,
these
in
threats
Michigan,
have come from.
if you go past a certain latitude, we call it up north. And
Yep.
so we're going to go northeast.
Okay. Up.
With consensus, of course, consent required.
I mean, maybe running it by the pastor. I mean, not much out there. He tells you apart from the Henderson farm, but the Hendershot farm, the old Hendershot farm. It used to be one of the biggest and most successful corn farms in the Shutters.
Corn,
so-
you say? Now I know I'm
Yep.
going in the right direction.
Uh-huh.
So you leave the town, striking out in the direction that the townsfolk have given you towards the Hendershot farm. The internet. Thanks, Jen. Okay, all right. Just because I'm not unfair, you can have a point of luck for that, but don't keep pushing it. All right.
No.
You stride up, and you actually find that you are actually heading uphill or up mountain, which is not surprising because this is a mountainous terrain. The unusual thing about the top of this mountain, though, is it has been laid completely, almost supernaturally flat. Once you get to a certain altitude, there are all kinds of sort of rumors and legends of the moon. Originally there were two moons, and one of the moons crashed to the earth in the before times and leveled the top of this particular mountain. Trudging through all of those familiar stories and rumors that legends you've heard, but this is the first time you've actually laid eyes on it, and you've got sheer mountain cliffs and absolutely just completely flat, like somebody had literally just drawn a line and flattened things off. Did we just lose somebody? Cool. All right. I should say, people feel free to come and go as you need for breaks and what have you. But yeah, you strike out up the mountain, and you find yourself. You're going in the right direction because you come across a heavily snow-covered cornfield. Beyond the cornfield is a bridge. So there's a flat plateau with a narrow stone naturally occurring bridge, thick with snow, leading to another similar flat plateau. The snowy bridge, it's about 20 feet wide at the closest end, but narrows to about 8 feet at its most dangerous looking middle. You would guess there's probably about a 200 foot drop into the snow below, but it's quite hard to make out, and it really is. It's snowing heavily, but yeah, 200 feet is a long way to fall.
Oof. Okay.
I use
let's
my
do this.
tracking ability. Jen, what are you doing?
Your tracking ability?
I want to sense if I hear any bleating of goats on the winds.
Bleating, not bleeding. Okay.
Bleating.
I'm sorry.
Can't hear bleeding yet.
I'm like,
I'm not that good.
That's
but
oddly obscure. Okay.
no, bleating of goats on the wind. I want to sense presence of goat with my tracking ability.
That sounds interesting. I mean,
Give me an intelligence, just an intelligence check, Laura.
Okay, and then
A goat's
Jen
check,
speaking.
indeed.
Yes.
Thank you, Ken.
So, that's a natural 20, and my plus 0, so nat 20 crit on that. Feeling so smart.
So you're listening particularly for goats. You do not hear goats, but you do hear the braying sound that, not dissimilar, possibly children playing, but broken.
They're kids. They're kids.
The kids.
Oh,
I walked right into
Oh,
that
shit.
one, didn't I? No more shit puns.
Oh.
Lots of
No,
shit puns.
why does the luck get cut off now? Chat decides we're gonna pull it now.
Oh, God. Your husband's in chat. He doesn't count.
I have
I like the
Thing.
advice of Sisu having the ability to understand goat for 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah, we're getting there.
Oh,
Okay, so
dear.
sounds like
This is the problem when you judge other judges.
And you start butting heads.
Sounds like children.
Take
All
a point
right,
of luck. Take a point of luck, Laura.
Thank you, chat. I appreciate you.
Ghosty Squid, don't turn on us now.
It deserves negative. Well, in luck, negatives are positive, so I'm gonna take my +1 to luck. All right, moving on. I know Jen was trying to speak, so that's all I have.
No, not at all.
Children, eh? All right. That's disconcerting.
Canada, eh?
It's all about.
But how long did it take us to get here? I mean, is it still like the dead of night and we hear children playing outside?
I
creepy.
guess very early morning. Yeah,
That's
so it's
still
taken you a few hours to climb. Welcome back, Aaron. It's taken you a few hours. The fire bell started ringing at midnight. So yeah, 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It's perhaps a little early that the sun is rising above the mountaintops.
Yeah, Stephen King warned us about stuff like this. I'm going to slowly start approaching the direction that I hear children playing, but
So the noises seem to come from the other side of the bridge.
well, then I'm going to work my way toward. I'm going to cross the bridge. That's what I'm going to do.
What about the troll, Foldy Roll, and the Billy Goat Scruff? No.
Are there any footprints in the snow leading over the bridge?
There are not.
Okay.
But there has been snowfall.
Recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're heading toward the largest corn farm. I probably don't need food of the gods just yet. Yeah. Seems perfectly safe, right?
I've crossed the bridge.
Okay.
By corn, you mean stuff to make bread with, not sweet corn, don't you?
I mean, stuff to make moonshine with.
Yeah. I mean, I just wondered about shooting someone with a frozen ear of corn out of my slingshot. That could be fun.
I don't think the type of corn would matter much unless it's like hominy, and then you end up with really big corn.
Well, it's winter, so
yeah.
we're post-harvest.
Yeah. Yeah, technology strikes again. All right, lead on, brave tracker.
All right. Well, I know that Merle Goodhammer is confidently striding across the bridge, and I can't, resist just marching orders with my warrior friend. So I think we'll both take the lead as we cross this bridge.
Okay. All right. So you stride out confidently. Like I say, 20 feet wide on this side. It does narrow to 8 feet, but providing you take your time, doesn't seem to hold any hidden hazards. And you're able to cross over. Is everybody following?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other side of the bridge, there's I say a well-worn track, a snow-covered path. But there's a significant dip in the snow that you can see where the roadway or pathway is supposed to be. And it leads you up towards what was clearly once a grand farmhouse, but it is now desperate for repair and a fresh coat of whitewash. The porch is all broken and sort of twisted, and part of the roof is sagging under the weight of the recent snowfall. probably close to collapsing. The farmyard itself is strewn with loose tools. There's a snow-covered wheelbarrow, shovels, what looks like a post hole digger, and you can hear now a loud conversation coming from inside. As you get closer, you're pretty sure you can hear at least 2 adult voices. What are you going to do?
And where are the kids in relation to this? Sorry.
You don't see any sign of the kids at this point.
Do we still hear them?
Yes, you do.
I'm not sure if that's better.
I'd like to approach quietly and try to keep our stealth.
This is the Hendershot farm if you need to greet anybody.
I'll
Nice.
head up to the porch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll take off my good hunting hat, hold it kind of get to my chest, rap on the door.
I'll do the same. Take off my hat.
So
You hear
polite.
a voice from within. A woman's voice shouting. Somebody at the door. Hank, get to the door. She sounds slurring, kind of maybe a little bit drunk. God damn it, Hank. Where are the kids? Get to the door. Somebody answer the door. A few seconds later, there's a clumping, reluctant sounding, thumping footsteps, and the door swings open. And looks this older guy looks out on you. He's wearing fairly, the normal sort of clothing that you'd imagine for the Shud folk. He's a fairly regular looking. Sorry, all homespun. Yeah. Homespun and fixed with literally anything available. So maybe 1 or 2 splashes of color, but with stuff was fixed with, I don't know, sacks and cloth and
Potato sacks.
as could be found. Yeah.
Love it.
But he's he's tall and gangly, and he's got a bit of a sort of long distance stare, and he's clearly quite drunk. But when he spies you, he's like, "Well, we weren't expecting visitors, but it's mighty good to see you all. Why don't you come on in? Come and meet the family."
Evening, Mr. Hendershot. I don't mind if I do, and I'll go ahead and step on in.
Shakes your hand. You can call me Hank, son.
I'm Merle.
Merle, pleasure to meet you. And he looks around and basically shakes you all by the hand and introduces himself and shouts out, "Lottie, we've got visitors. Yeah, find the kids and bring them on in."
Thank you
So you're
kindly,
coming in?
sir.
Right.
Is it
The
warm
interior-
inside or cold?
Yes, I mean it's warm, but that's about all it's got going for it. When you're invited inside, the house is an absolute stinking mess. There's piles of dirty clothes. They invite you all into what's basically their sitting room, and they're moving junk and dirty clothes off the sofas and couches, and Lottie makes an appearance. She's got hair tied back in a severely, but she's got a pleasant, friendly face. It's absolutely blatantly obvious that both of these couple are absolutely trolleyed. They are extremely drunk as a skunk, they're trying to make you feel comfortable in their home. Their home is incredibly unkempt. Hank turns to Lottie and he says, "Where are the kids? Where are the kids?" She says, "Oh, try and round them up. Let me see what I can do."
I will politely ignore the mess.
Okay.
Hank, we've been looking. There was a bit of a ruckus down in town, and we were wondering if you'd seen any strangers come through past day or so. Weird looking sorts.
Strangers, you say? Well, we ain't had no visitors for the longest time. That's yeah. I'll be honest with you, it's good to have you here and make you welcome. You're the first visitors we've had for heck of a long time now.
Well, you should come down to church more often.
First visitors? And this being almost sovereign night? You mean no one's come caroling?
Yeah, we don't go in for celebrating quite so much these days. Sovereign's all well and good, but he starts to sort of pull at his collar and look all uncomfortable at the mention of Sovereign Night. I don't know, since I lost my daddy, it's sort of trails off into an uncomfortable silence.
I will clap a ham-hock-sized hand on his shoulder and kind of pull him. I understand, losing my paw. That was right rough, but you gotta keep faith. It's what will carry you through. The light of the sovereign will see you through. You gotta pull him close. You gotta give one of these. You'll see. We're here now. We'll help you through this troubling time.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your kind words.
Of course, I pulled him close, and all he is going to smell is burned hair.
And all you can smell is moonshine on his breath.
It cuts through the smell of the burned hair. I'm a happy man.
Yeah, I mean, not the finest combination of smells, but
that too.
Yeah. All right, so let's just go around the table. So, Darby, anything that you want to do?
I was going to sort of really try and ingratiate myself with our host because they're very kind, and I will offer them some of my white lightning and maybe a bowl of my tobacco, which is, of course, a rough shag, which I call some Bruno. But, so I'm going to have some Bruno moment and share the white lightning. And see whether they could, tell us a little bit about the legends of these parts, because old timers like this always know about, stuff, what goes on. I might sing them a song. They might tell me to get out. But, they seem polite sorts.
So you're going to smoke a bowl?
Smoke a bowl, yeah. Toke a pipe.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Hang up a fat one.
Hank gladly accepts both your booze and your tobacco. And he whips out a clay pipe of his own and eagerly starts to pack things into here. Lottie reappears and she's like, you can hear it. Sort of, she's been yelling and trying to round up the kids. She ushers the kids into the room. There are
How many?
There are 13 of them.
Poor Lottie.
And well, she sees your face when she brings them all in. They're kind of odd. They average 4 or 5 feet high. They're all young kids, but they're all sort of swaddled up in winter clothes and what have you, with just the tops, eyes and heads. They've got woolly hats and all wrapped up for winter, but you can't easily make out the sort of figures. And Hank and Lottie seem extremely proud of the kids, but there is definitely something a little bit peculiar about them. They're being 13 for a start. They are all almost identical as size. Sorry, go on.
It is warm in here, right?
It is relatively warm inside, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is quite unusual that they would be wrapped up for sure.
I'll wait a few minutes before inviting them to stay a while. Take off your hat. Stay a while.
Can we see if we can get a song going, get them dancing? Might get them moving. Shake a leg. Or
no Norris dancing.
Give me a personality check, Jules, and I will come back to you. Phil,
Jules
what
never
is...
needs to do a personality test.
Jules doesn't, but I think Darby perhaps does.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Sorry, Phil. Give me what's Seb up to?
That's a very good question, and I've been trying to work that one out myself. I think he's probably just chatting, just in a kind of I'm in someone's home at Christmas time equivalent of propping up the bar. Does that make sense? So just being social.
Okay. Frazzle?
Frazzle has been having an ongoing conversation with Stringfellow in his head as he communicates telepathically, and has been going along the lines of yes, I know, yeah, there was footsteps, and I don't know, I kind of blacked out as well. I've no idea. I told you to keep an eye out. Right, okay, well, look, no, it's fine. We're now in this like weird house. It's fine. I know that those kids look a bit weird. I tell you what, there's 13. Why don't you look, Stringfellow, like fly over and see if you could like pull one of the hats off or something. So, do it. And
I start humming carols in front of Frazzle to kind of obscure that from our hosts.
Well, it's all a sort of telepathic conversation that's sort of going on.
Good.
With Stringfellow, and the first you realise is that all of a sudden Stringfellow goes, and then sort of hops off Frazzle's shoulder, and then dive bombs one of the children. Going for, you said they were wearing hats. He's going for a hat.
Hats and scarves. So basically, all you can see is a pair of relatively normal chunk of face. But yeah, very
I'm so sorry, Aaron. I thought that was out loud, and I was about to panic.
No. It does say here communicates telepathically with the caster. So yeah, they've been having an ongoing thing while everything else is going on. Yes. So he's going to dive bomb for a hat. Do you want it as an attack?
Yeah, just do it as an attack. You've got this. Yeah.
So,
Go on, crit.
22. I rolled a 17, and he gets a +5.
All right, so Stringfellow flaps effortlessly. Lottie shrieks in panic as this bird sort of appears off from Frazzle's shoulder, swoops down, snatches one of these things hats, and whisks it away. You see from the you've got a telepathic link, so you get a flash of what the bird sees, and as the bird swoops down to grab the head of the hat off the top of the child's head, you see the child's eyes flick around, and rather than the normal human eyes that you saw previously, you see two vertical slits just appear just for a second. Weird and unnatural. The hat is pulled away, and you just see a closely shorn blonde head underneath, and Stringfellow swaps back. By the time Stringfellow's landed back on your shoulder or dropped the hat, the eyes are back to normal, but you are aware something isn't right with these children, whatever they are. And they take off as one, heading out the back of the house, into away from you, frustrated, frightened, or something. Lottie tries to cover up. They're awfully shy. They're probably just going out to play. They're all.
I'm terribly sorry, madam. I believe your children are snakes. And with that, Frazzle's going to go off after them.
Snakes?
You dare? Yeah.
Why does it have to be snakes?
Always has to be snakes.
I'll kind of hold up a calming hand. Frazzle gets that way sometime. I'll just go make sure that Frazzle don't get into no mischief, and I will follow behind. Not really planning on stopping any mischief. But,
I was going to get these kids to dance anyway, so I have done my personality check.
Okay, what did you get?
I got a natural 20, Bruce. So I rolled 22, and I am going to be playing on my fiddle, basically because I'm from Memaset, it will be a Wurzel's version of "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter" by Iron Maiden. But if you're American, it's probably "Hey Say Dixie."
Oh, I
Bring
wish
your
I could play
daughter
banjo here.
to the
I know I can play the
slaughter, to
banjo.
the slaughter. Let her go, let her go, let her go.
Okay. It's the perfect pace to accompany the retreat and booted footsteps of the children making a break for it. However, oddly, Lottie and Hank don't seem to see anything wrong with their children's weird behaviour and just get down and start dancing. They go arm to arm and they start dozy-doing around the living room and whooping and hollering like a pair of drunk people. And I think we will pause it there while we take a short break. Remember, everybody in chat, if you do #MonsterMe, you're in with a chance of winning. We're going to take, about a 5-minute break, 4-minute break?
5.
The wonderful intermission is 4 minutes long. So
okay, so I'm going to run very, very quickly to the fridge to get a beer. And we'll come back and we'll have, I think, about an hour and a half left on the time. Is that about right with you, Phil?
Sounds good.
fine by me.
Cool. All right. So grab yourself a beer, refreshment, coffee, whatever suits your time zone. And we'll be back and we'll find out what happens. And we'll also draw the prize winner. All right. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
See you in a minute.
Groovy.
I am muted. Hey, there we go. We're back, and here we are. Apologies for the minor technical challenges there. We're halfway through playing Came the Monsters of Midwinter for Dungeon Crawl Classics, and we're just back from our intermission, so I will just rejoin with our amazing cast. I hope you're all enjoying it. Let us know in the comments, and if you want a chance to win the PDF of tonight's adventure, it's almost too late to take part, but I'm going to get Judge Bruce to tell us what you need to do right now. Hey, Bruce, how you doing? You are also muted. Hang on. There we go.
Cheers. Good health.
Cheers.
Everybody at home, if you want a chance to win, you have to be watching on Twitch and you have to type #MonsterMe into the old Twitch chat. And any moment now, Phil's going to draw one lucky winner. Thanks very much once again to Goodman Games for letting us do this. So it's always great to be giving stuff away, but to be giving stuff away that's sort of brand new, you'll get your hands on it in time to run it over the festive season, hopefully.
Let's begin the cast. And we'll do it very quickly. Way. And then we'll try and get everyone back in the order we're in. It looks like we are all in the correct order, which is outstanding.
Works. Magic.
Superb. So thank you so much to everyone who's been chatting along throughout this entire session. It's been great. And please get those comments coming. It's been so entertaining, trying not to get distracted. But I will now press the magic button and let's see what happens. And if this doesn't work, then sorry. We're using a new bot tonight.
It's like we haven't got any dice to roll or something.
No, absolutely.
Yes! Will's won it! That's Billion Babble. Okay.
Congratulations.
Will,
to,
if you're
to
still
Will.
in chat, mate, congratulations. Thank you very much. Maybe we can get Will to run some DCC. For those of you who don't know Will runs Inked Adventures. He has a wonderful Etsy store with some fantastic gaming accessories, dungeon tiles, and the most wonderful playing cards that have got dungeon geomorphs on them, which are great for all your Weird Frontiers and other needs. So nice one,
What's
Will.
the name of his Etsy store?
It's Inked Adventures, and if he's still in chat, I'm hoping he is because he's a night owl. But if not, I will find a link and sort it out later. I'll certainly send you one.
The stuff is
so
amazing,
awesome.
and it's really well crafted as well, and the art style for what it is.
I would also like to say that Will's an absolute pleasure to have at the table. So if you do have the pleasure to roll dice with him, he's great fun, and we miss you, mate. So hopefully we'll see you at the shop or somewhere at a convention soon. That would be great. Cool. All right. So thanks, Phil. Thanks for organising that. Thanks again, Goodman Games, for letting us give an adventure module away. We'll get in touch with Will and make sure he gets his copy downloaded. And if you weren't lucky enough to win, but you're interested, it's available now on the Goodman Games store as a PDF, and you can also order it in print. And the print one comes with a funky scratch-off advent calendar as well, which I love that. I mean, I love the scratch-off character sheets and all of this sort of stuff. I love that Goodman do, exciting new things. So, yeah, looking forward to getting that in print when we can get one over here in the UK. Anyway, let's carry on. Quick recap. The party have been invited into the home of Hank and Lottie Hendershot and introduced to their 13 very unusual children. Our wizard Frazzle, immediately noting something was afoot, launched their familiar Stringfellow, the hawk, who successfully scooped a woolly hat. No, the name's. I'm trying to be clever here and use the Canadian name for a beanie, but it's gone.
It's a toque.
Thank you, a toque, because that worked. Stringfellow clutched at the toque, pulling it away, and for a second there, we all got a flash. You all got a flash of these weird eyes that this child had about them before the children ganged together and bolted for the door. Jules Darby playing his tune. Lottie and Hank obviously very drunk and out of it, completely oblivious to the weird nature, it seems, of their children. Letty, when you seemed sort of shocked and surprised that they should have 13 such children, Lottie sort of reaches out a hand and she says, it was a blessing of the sovereign. They're all 13. They just popped out painlessly, one after another. I really do consider myself blessed. And she looks at Hank. She says, I'm blessed to be married to such a fine man, even though he's not really a man of God himself. Anyway,
Those quintuplets.
How long ago was that?
13plets. Oh, it was. It was a few seasons back. She's all a little bit vague, and I'm sorry. I might have had a little bit too much to drink this evening.
Oh, no
says,
problem at all. Would you like me to see you to bed? You seem a little unsteady on your feet. I'm sure the guys can handle stuff downstairs. I can help you if you'd like.
That's for the best. I don't know. She looks at Hank. Hank's sort of leaning on Darby O'Gill's shoulder and singing along to his latest tune.
Yeah.
So yeah, what Letty's going to. Lottie would try to. Lottie and Letty would
Letty Jane.
try to take Letty by a somewhat circuitous route through an absolutely filthy kitchen, to what's clearly a shared bedroom. I mean, they have 13 offspring after all, right?
Perfectly fine. No shenanigans or anything. Just make sure she's nice and secure and make my way back and try to keep the rest of the gang the same little.
Well, I followed Frazzle outside.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I go where my warrior brother goes, so I'm outside as well.
Ah, great. So I got Seb. Oh man. Okay. Where is Hank? Hank is inside.
He's dancing to me because I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
And
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Frazzle, Merle, and Sisu follow the kids outside, and the kids break off in two sort of separate directions. Some of them seem to bolt back in the direction of the bridge, and some of them run southwards towards another building that you can make out in the distance. Long, ramshackle, looks like some sort of farm building, barn or some such.
So Hank and Lottie are both smashed, and they raise corn. So I'm going to look at that out. I'm going to look towards that outbuilding and see if I see any smoke rising up.
There is no smoke, no. But I
No
like your
sign of a
thinking.
still over there.
The still is still, yes.
Well, I will follow Frazzle.
Frazzle.
Is Hank still dancing, or is he going to fall over at some point? And
He's still dancing, but I'm not hearing Erin.
Oh noes. No.
It's not 2020 anymore, Erin, you know. I'm sorry, I shouldn't not. It's usually me.
It's the hawk. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Seb's
the
about
Hawks-
to get somebody sneaking up behind him.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I'm gonna follow over to the other building. Where
Okay.
where the kids
All
are.
right. Okay, so Frazzle breaking towards the other building.
I'm with Frazzle.
Jules. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
yeah, well, I was going to see whether if I can get mine host to sort of calm down, lay down, and maybe drop off to sleep because he's had quite a lot of booze. I'll bring your daughter into the slaughter into some kind of lullaby, which hopefully will send him off. And I'm going to have a bit of a snoop around the house and see what we can find.
Sure. Give me a quick personality check, see if we can get him to nod off.
Yeah, that will be 13. It's
Okay,
not bad,
that'll do.
but
Yeah.
yeah, he's heavily inebriated,
He starts to yawn and he's like,
and I'll do it back.
looks at Letty Jane. Where'd you go with my Lottie?
Oh, Lottie went to bed, honey. It's just fine.
Go to sleep.
She
Go
said
to sleep.
so tired. She awaits your embrace.
Oh, well, be our guests and make yourself comfortable in our lovely home. But yeah, I think that's wise. And he heads off to bed.
Through the piles and
Yeah,
through,
we-
the hoarder trail. We've all seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Christmas mead.
Merry
Doppelbock.
Festivus. Oh,
Yes.
New Glarus, Bruce.
don't.
You said coffee or beer. It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah. God. Jealous.
Yeah, I managed to-
Karma
not gonna
police. Karma police.
I'm just on the hobgoblin, but you know, it keeps me going.
Yeah, we've heard that excuse
Yeah,
before.
we don't talk about those hobbies.
I'm not going there.
So now that the
Alrighty.
party
Okay.
is split, I think the idea is that we rejoin the rest.
I'm fine trying to corral a split party, but you take Hank to bed, and Merle and Sisu and Frazzle head towards the other building. What's Seb doing, Phil?
I think probably also going to go with Sisu and Frazzle.
Okay.
Mal.
So you approach the. Sorry, bear with me one sec. A long, low building, clearly some sort of farm outbuilding or barn or corn crib. Long and low. It has what look like sliding doors, and the tracks of the kids lead right up to the doors. Laura, give me an intelligence check, but I'll let you add your level.
Ooh.
For
So
your
I have no modifiers,
tracking
so it'll be a
skills.
+2
Okay.
for my tracking.
Okay.
Okay,
We're playing the
15
Brendan
plus
adventure.
2.
We'll do what Brendan calls a wheelhouse check, right?
Yeah. So 15 + 2 is 17.
Cool. All right. So you are pretty confident that as you approach with some caution, you think probably 6 or 7 of these. They seem to split into 2 groups, but you only actually see 4 sets of footprints at the door.
So I assume that 4 went inside and the others might be about. I just open the door to look inside.
Sure. Okay. As you swing the door or slide the door open, you hear a flapping of snow, and 2 shapes jump from the snow behind you. And the first one swings at you. They are indeed the 2 of these 2 of the kids. Sorry, I should be better organised with my stats here. That's a 15. And
15 is my AAC.
Okay. So this shape launches at you from behind. You feel these 2 hands grip your shoulder, and Merle and Frazzle and anybody else present sees this thing in coat hat bring its head back. The hat is thrown clear. The clean shaven or head sort of tilts back. The eyes flip around to vertical slits. The head folds back, at ungainly, unnatural angle, and you're just aware of just a mouthful of 2 rows of needle-sharp teeth, and this thing bites down on Sisu's shoulder, and you take 5 points of damage.
Does it hit if my AC matches?
Yes,
It does?
equal to or over. Yeah.
All right. And my hunting leathers don't take any of that. My armor.
Not unless you've got some fancy armor with ablatives.
Nope, haven't had a chance to fashion the cursed lizard into armor yet. So 5 points of damage to me.
Yeah.
All right, and I scream, and it echoes across the mountains.
Okay. The second one also leaps from the snowdrift that it was hiding in, throws off its hood or its hat, and again you're faced. I mean, these things are only 4 foot in height, but they are absolutely terrifying. So that was the surprise attack. Let's roll initiative. Anybody still in the house is going to be around behind everybody else, but I will take initiative now from everybody, please.
16 for me.
Okay, I'll get around the table in just a second. Let me just grab some stats because I'm old school in this with pencil and paper. 13 and 3.
So for anyone wondering about the persistent silence, we're actually all just typing our numbers into private chat here.
I mean, I don't know why I didn't just ask for that to start with. Yeah, but I'm going to go around the table because that's how I do it, Phil. I can't do it any other way, damn it.
I'm just telling everyone else why we're all suddenly silent.
Do it old school, Bruce. Do it old school.
I'm writing stuff on a piece of paper. It's a pen and paper game, damn it. Jules, what did you get for Derby?
I got 17. I'm quite impressed with that.
Okay.
I'm in the house, though.
You
so
did, but you're in the house, so you are going to join on round 2 if indeed you are summoned or hear the commotion. Laura, what did you get for Sisu?
16.
16. Jen?
18 for next round. I'm heading outside before any commotion, hopefully, but I will go after Phil.
Okay.
Sorry, Seb. Because he said he also had an 18.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Mel?
19.
Okay. So that would be. And Frazzle.
Frazzle keeps getting distracted by Stringfellow chatting away in his head. So he's got a 4.
Okay, so Merle, you are up first. You see this thing leap out of this, or two of these things leap out of the snowdrift as Sisu whips open the shed door. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, Sisu will probably just say, bless their little hearts, and brutalize them. So I'm going to hit the one that is not already in combat.
Okay.
Seeing that they've got this maw of needle-sharp teeth,
Mhm.
I'm essentially going to attempt to disarm it by smashing my cudgel deep into its mouth and knocking some teeth loose.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, about that. Give me a second. I need to look up my fumble table. My
Oh.
fumble die. Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, D12. Ouch. Oh, well, that's going to be... Oh, I smashed my weapon against a solid, unyielding object, probably a duck that I hit the barn.
You could.
Yeah.
You could
Oh, yeah.
spend a point of luck
can't
to
not-
negate it.
Yep, you're right. I think I am going to burn a point of luck because I don't want to lose my cudgel. So I will burn
Nice. So you graze your cudgel against the side of the barn. It's
Yep.
no longer a fumble. But you do not, unfortunately, hit the creature, changeling, or whatever it is. It, however, is intent on hitting you. And it lunges at you. That's a 2. And it misses. The second one is going to lunge again at Sisu. But it misses. From the door, you see 4 more, the 4 that had stepped inside, spin around and start to move towards you. But they are not in combat yet. Next up is Seb, who I think is still in the house.
I went
Or are you
with
following?
the party.
Okay, so you see this unfold before you. You see 6 of these things in total, one of which is attacked Sisu, one is engaged with Merle.
I think the one that went to engage with Merle, I'm going to... Let's see what happens. I'm going to do a dice roll. Okay. So that was... I'm doing a 14 to hit.
That'll do it.
So what I actually want to do is kind of just... Having seen this thing launch at him,
Yep.
my idea is just to kind of put the sword where they're in their trajectory and see
Okay.
what happens. Obviously, I'm not a warrior, so no sort of mighty deeds type thing going on. But
No,
it's
but you're
the
just
first
trying
right thing
to
do.
instinctively intercede to protect
Exactly.
Merlin. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well.
4 points.
To be fair, this warrior didn't get much of a mighty deed either, so it's okay. You got more of a
Okay.
mighty deed than I did.
You slice this child, if that's what it actually is, in half upon your short sword blade.
Ooh.
It collapses to the ground. The snow seems to hiss and sizzle, but it is still bleeding red. And as it rolls flat, you look into its eyes, and its eyes flick round to something approximating human eyes. It still has horrible, sharp teeth in its mouth, though.
I'm feeling slightly bad about this.
Letty Jane's going to join us on the next
Yeah.
round, as is Darby. Next up is Sisu.
I just grab the throwing axe that I have strapped to my chest, and I just try to smash it as hard as I can in the face and all those double rows of teeth. I have to roll my deed die to see if the deed goes off. And no, that is a 4 plus 2 plus 2. I'm guessing that an 8 does not hit.
An 8 doesn't hit. No.
So I'm
sorry.
blind. I'm just like swinging behind me
Okay.
with my eyes closed.
Frazzle, you're there.
So we've got two snake children attacking members of the party.
We have 6, don't we?
6.
6 in total, yeah. So
there's 6 in total.
two
sorry.
have attacked, and there are four more just inside the door.
Okay, but we have. Oh, have we opened the door?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. At which point, I think we get a flame on, and he turns to the children in the door, and he's going for a full-blown flamage with the hands across the doorway to get as many of the kids as possible. But we shall see
Nice.
how successful he's going to be.
Flamage.
Yeah. 11, 12, 15. So it's better than it has been. Okay, so the spell produces a blast of fire that burns a single target within range for 1d6 points of damage. So it's
Okay.
slightly better than it was. And that's 6 points of damage. So he
Okay.
doesn't get the full-on effect of all of them, but he does manage
Mhm.
to hit one of them.
So one of the ones in the doorway is toast. So it burst. Its rags burst into its homespun clothes, its scarf, its hat blown off. And it's a human torch, changeling torch. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Stick a children torch.
We're back to the top of the initiative with Merle.
Well, Merle is going to bring his other hand around, choke up on his grip on the cudgel, and try again, swinging for the fences and the pointy teeth.
Bada bada bing.
Okay, that's my second fumble. I'm just going to burn another point of luck. Wow.
Okay, well, that's the way
Why
it goes.
have you forsaken me?
Time to swap out the dice, maybe, if you're that way.
Is that one of your French dice, Bob?
No, it's one of Cesricon's sanguivorous solids.
Not a garlic munching surrender monkey of a. Oh, sorry, I can't say things like that, can I?
You totally can.
Hey, are you kidding? If it weren't for the French, we Americans would speak English properly.
Well,
Yeah, so like I said, wow.
Outrageous.
you did need to invent an entirely new dictionary in order to be able to understand the English language in your version. So. We had 2. You could have used either of them.
I'm just going to be over here drinking. It's fine.
Thank you, guys. And for everybody watching at home, this is meant in the nicest possible way. Nerd.
Yeah, give me French cheese or give me death. I'm all for that.
American cheese, though.
No, no, that is
I'd
death.
rather have
concentrate,
the death,
thank
thank you.
Oh, God. I'm trying to run a game here. So once again, Merle is the target of the affection of a foul beast of something as it lunges towards you, Merle. But this one actually, perhaps in vicious mockery of your own failure, falls flat to the ground. And it's going to need to spend the next round trying to right itself. The remaining 2, though, the remaining 4 are going to charge forward. I'm just going to do some quick.
We're reading 3, right? One of them got blazed.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Well, there were 6 in total. 4.
Hang on, somebody got kiddie fricassee. Did happen, didn't it?
Yeah, you've taken 2, and there are 4 left. There were 4 inside the door. So there's 1 outside and 4 inside the door. And okay, so
inside the fire too.
yes,
yeah.
So the remaining ones out inside the door are going to step forward. One is going to attack Sisu. That is also a fumble. Did you throw that dice this way? Okay. I think what actually happens is it charges at Sisu and just trips over the other one that's fallen over, right? We're having a bit of a Keystone Cops moment here. The next one charges out and is focused on Darby. That is a 16 with a bonus, I think.
Oh heck!
Does a 16
The
hit
ankle
you,
bite
George?
has bit me.
It bites you for 3 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. All right. Chew me and you'll see what you'll get. Okay.
So that was 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one I think is going to have a pop at Seb. That is a 13 plus. Does a 15 hit you, Phil?
It does indeed.
Okay, that is also 3 points of damage.
Oh, you little.
These are individual attacks. However, they seem to be now that the remaining of them are now sort of crowding around Seb. But we're on to, in fact, it's actually Seb's opportunity to retaliate.
The one that bit me, I'm just going to try and stab him in the head.
Okay.
And probably fail. Unless you think an 8's going to hit.
I'm afraid it's not.
Even from
Burn
this
some
range,
luck.
being mobbed.
Bear in
No,
mind
I-
that you
I
can-
daren't at this point.
It's not 1 for 1 for a thief, though, Phil. Remember,
Oh,
I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
you can need quite a lot more than an 8, admittedly.
Getting
But
that. Okay. I burnt 2 points of luck. 7, 16.
16 is a hit.
I'm going to forget that with thieves. Right. So that's 1 point of damage.
That was worth burning 2 points of luck for.
Thanks, Erin.
Always burn luck.
Always,
But then you run out of luck.
especially in a one shot.
You know.
So Seb stabs out with his longsword and wounds one of these creatures.
Yes.
Darby's up next.
Right. It's bit me and I'm going to smack it back. I'm going to go oops upside your head with these kids with my bows. Boop. Double action. Ooh, that's a natural 16. That'll be a crit.
That's a crit.
It will be. And just in case I'm feeling powerful, I get 6 with the other one. So I think I've definitely hit it. And we've gone with 3 points of damage for the first one. But we'll go with the crit, hey? Criticals. D8. Right. That'll be a 6. Brutal strike to the torso. Ooh. Inflict a 1d8 extra points of damage. That'll be 7. And the foe suffers multiple broken ribs. Go on, kick the little kiddie where it hurts.
Can you
Not,
kick
not unlike Merle's attack on the creature outside the chapel. There's that sickening sound that only goes along with crunching bones, and this thing just collapses to the ground again as it rolls over dead. Its eyes return to normal, but you still, even though the mouth partially closes, you're still aware of these sort of twisted. The sort of twisted grin and these spiky, foul teeth. Sisu's up next.
So I just reel back my arm again, and I just start saying, "Can I ask you a question?" As I just start slamming with my axe. Oh my goodness. Well, the dice are not rewarding puns tonight. My deed went off and my attack was a 7. So, yeah, I miss again because I just keep closing my eyes when I'm doing that. But I'm wondering to myself, are one of these children Maisel and one of these children Ming? And so I just kind of close my eyes and brace for like another bite.
Okay. Frazzle.
Well, it worked so well last time. Yeah, he's going in for it. So we've got another. So are there any still standing in the doorway?
No, they've all moved out and engaged in melee now.
But there are
All
two
right.
lying on the ground in front of me.
That's true.
They're
You want to start a
supposedly
bonfire? I'm good with that.
they're supposedly dead, aren't they?
No,
No,
they're
the-
not. They tripped
Two
over.
have
Okay.
fumbled.
Oh,
Yeah.
two have fumbled.
Yeah.
Okay. He swings round. He's gonna go for the ones that have fumbled. That's a really good idea. Let's see how well we do. 13, 14,
+4 for against a prone target.
+2.
+2. Thank you.
15, 17, 18, 19 on flaming hands. Blast of fire, single target, 1d6 plus caster level, so that's +2. So it's
Okay.
d6 +2. So that's 3 in total. 3 points of damage on one of the two that is prone.
Yeah, they're basically the same target now, right? So
1.5 each.
I am gonna give one of them a reflex save. One of them just dies outright. You've torched it. I'm gonna give the other one a reflex save. I guess the one in bottom yeah, that was terrible. So the other one's clothes are on fire, and as it struggles to its feet, it's wrestling with the fire. It's in trouble for sure. And it's not going to be able to act this round, other than maybe to try and put the fire out. But we're back to the top of the initiative with Merle. So
Third time's the charm. He's used his action to stand up. I'm going to use my cudgel to knock him back down forever.
nice.
About time. It's going to be 23, 24, 25 to hit.
That's a hit and a half. Almost.
Ooh, and that's going to be max damage. So that's going to be 6, 10, 12 points.
So this is the one that's on fire and struggled up, or the one?
Yep, yeah, the one that just stood up in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, your club connects with the teeth. The club and the teeth force to the back of its weird sort of flip top head, and it just goes crashing down in a smoldering wreck of a body.
And I just stand over and go, yeah!
So I feel like I'm dawdling outside here. I don't think I went last.
Did I
round.
skip you? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm kind of probably tripping over the crap inside the house, to be honest.
Well,
It's a little too
get
typecasty.
here to see Merle put one down,
Okay.
and you see one more sort of flailing. This is the one that attacked Seb, I believe. So I don't know really how you feel about Seb, but he's right in the middle of the battle.
Count of bodies. Are there 13 or 12 fallen kids right here?
No, only half of them. The other half broke for the bridge. Well, the other half went in a different direction.
Went in a different direction. Okay. There's only one standing against them. I'm gonna book it towards where the other footprints lead.
Okay.
I understand it'll take me a minute to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Which takes us to Seb.
I've kind of lost track of who we've got doing what right now.
Okay.
If I'm honest, some technical issues here. But in terms of, we've still got some kids.
There's one. There is one on its feet. Yeah, right in front of you.
Okay. I'll try and knock it back down again then.
It's like a live action version of tub thumping, isn't it, really?
This is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. I've got a cider drink if anyone wants that.
I haven't. I've got this orange drink. It's not quite fine. That said, I mean,
Got the fizzy drink.
this one that's left standing, how wounded is it?
It isn't.
Well, we can make it more.
Before I
wounded.
attack it, then, what can I get any kind of read as to? I mean, they look like they're about to attack. Are they kind of just standing there? Does that make sense? I mean, we've kind of all gone pretty offensive after that first set of attacking, and I'm not really sure.
They were rushing you. I mean, until you guys started to turn the tide,
Yeah.
You felt like you took a hit last round, right? And you felt like they were closing in on you.
Yep.
Like
but
you
now?
were, expecting. I guess you feel it's still a threat.
All right. In that case, I'll try him one. That's 15
That's a hit.
for a 1 point of damage.
Okay. It is still up. Darby.
Right. Here, you. Threatening my mate, Honest Seb. I'm going to slap you upside your head, mate. So I'm going to slap him. Slap him good.
Oops.
Oh, that'll be a massive 11. I take it that's probably a miss.
It is, I'm afraid. Yeah. Sisu.
Oh. Well, hang on. I've got another slap.
Oh,
haven't
sorry,
I?
Jules.
Double
Make
slap.
Make your second slap.
They call him Dick Double Slap for nothing. That'll be a 12.
Oh, dear. 12's not going to help you much.
Oh,
But
screw
it's
it.
a
I will
narrowness.
spend a point of luck, which is like 2 points of real luck to anybody else. That would be like
No.
14. Is that a
14
hit?
will do it. I can't do that. Excellent.
You can't do that, can you?
14. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I was going to be rude about your part of the world.
What? My Dorset. Yeah.
Dorset.
Yeah. Right. That'll be 3 like.
3.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you needed. So
Bang bang, you're
you
dead.
lash out with your offhand and you take this thing down. And Honest Seb lives to fight another day. In fact,
I'm on the
you
back
all
going,
do.
yeah, you tell it.
Yeah. Honest Seb. Honestly, it's Christmas. It's all about Stalin.
I went to the German supermarket to get some Christmas cake, but they've all been stolen.
Yeah.
Oh,
My kids love that one. They really love that one every year. I don't get luck.
it's a dad joke.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry. I absolutely love some Stalin right now.
Oh, it's so good,
Yeah,
isn't
honestly,
it?
come on. Why haven't you arranged for Stalin all round? We could have sent it everywhere.
I do. If you come to my game next week, you'll be playing the same adventure, but you will get mince pies with it. I'm sorry, I couldn't do.
I've eaten
pies
2
for all
mince
of you.
pies during this adventure, but Brucey boy, I'm almost mince pied out, but I could probably stick
Okay.
a third one down.
Well, I am providing mince pies for players next
Other-
week, but I can't do that on the internet.
Other
Anyway,
Bruce in the
moving on.
comments says, very quickly, other Bruce in the comments, Sanjiro Takagi, says that you can have quite a lot, Bruce.
Cheers. Thank you very much. I will use that at some point. So Letty Jane,
Hang on,
I'm
it's not
aware, was
Bruce,
dashing
Bruce.
off in the other. Yeah, it's like a Monty Python sketch here, and I normally dock people luck points for quoting Monty Python, but when I met other Bruce in Lake Geneva, we did the whole Bruce sketch. It was probably not that funny to anybody else, to be honest, but I enjoyed it. Where are right? Letty Jane was chasing footprints in the other direction. Letty Jane can see that there are 2 of these things still covered with hats and gloves on the bridge, on the far side, or about halfway toward the far side of the bridge, actually still on the bridge, and they're taunting you and waving at you. But you are aware that there were more that left this way, and there is no obvious sign of the others.
Yeah. Okay. About that. Going with blessing at this point.
Okay.
1 to potentially aid me and my hero, or my fellow heroes, hero friends, whatever. And 2, so that hopefully my manifestation will tell them exactly where I'm at.
Right. Okay.
And, festive, right? Yes, in
Is it-
fact, bright red and green aura, just
Nice.
because. And
Like it.
it flickers and fades out
Okay.
because I rolled a.
Yeah. So are we back up to 3 on the disapproval? Yeah.
Yes.
Sovereign's busy today,
Yes.
right? I mean, supposed to be taking it easy on his holiday, is he not? Maybe. I
well,
don't know.
If
I
you
mean,
sacrifice some cocoa to the sovereign, maybe you do that.
I like it.
I
Okay.
forgot my marshmallows. That must be it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
woke me up too soon. Otherwise, I'd totally like grab a little twig and yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So the rest of you see this flash of beautiful green and red light that dies quickly, but not before you're aware of Letty Jane's location. Are you going to call her back, or are you going to go investigate where she is, or are you going to...
I'm not leaving the cleric alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm rushing to the beacon.
Yep, I'm in there.
Yep.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Okay. All right. So Letty Jane is facing off against two of these things.
Just shy of the bridge.
Just shy of the
I'm-
bridge. They're,
I'm
they're,
not
they're
going
waving
onto the
and-
bridge.
Yeah,
And they're on the bridge?
they are on the bridge.
How far am I from the bridge?
I guess if you're stopping level with the cleric, you're probably 10 feet from it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how far we were rushing, but nothing happened in the interim. Okay.
No.
I'm digging something out of my pouch. That's all.
I'm going to pull my short bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make a precision shot, and I'm not firing at the kids. You said they're on the bridge, right?
Yep.
I'm firing at one of the ropes behind them to snap
Okay.
one of the lines and maybe throw them off the bridge.
We have to get back across, right?
That's why I'm trying to snap one of the lines, not both.
Okay. So I need to get 3 or more on the deed die. In fact, what is your deed die, Bob?
A D4.
We'll go with the 3 then. Let's not make it too hard. But
And thankfully, my short bow is my lucky weapon.
oh, nice.
Going to be 16. That's a 16 to hit with a 3 on the deed.
3 on the deed. Okay. So the lucky bow comes into its own. You knock an arrow, you draw, you aim, and these things are still waving. The arrow flies between them and hits the rope, and it starts to fray. The bridge starts to sway.
Well, that was me. Everyone else?
I mean, I've sort of taken this out of initiative. But
I like to emulate my warrior brother if I can
Okay.
take a turn.
Sure.
Do whatever Big Brother does and get my don't you know bow and line up an arrow and try to shoot the exact same spot on the exact same rope.
I'll aid your shot with a hey there, ho, don't you know?
Hey there, ho. Okay, I got a 4 on the deed die. I got a 10 plus 2. So does a plus
plus
the
the
4,
deed.
so 16.
that's a hit.
16
It
with the
snap-
4 on the deed die. Yeah.
It snaps the rope. The rope tips. Bridge tips. And not only do the 2 that were waving at you instantly sort of tip, one of them makes a last minute snatch and catches hold of the rope, but swings hard and hits the you last see impacting on the side of the mountain. But 5 more bodies tumble off into the crevasse below. They were hidden in the snowdrift on the bridge, hence the taunting you to.
Ho, 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 ho.
Nicely played, and I think Bob deserves a point of luck for some quick thinking and good playing.
Ooh, thank you.
Excellent.
That makes up
so
for one of my fumbles.
I don't exactly know what you're going to explain to Hank and Lottie, but let's hope they're a good while sleeping off so you can come up with something.
Shall we go
Where to,
back?
folks?
I want to go look in the outhouse.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, never mind. We don't see any more of them on the other side, even.
No, you quick math suggests that is probably 13 accounted for if you've
Gotcha.
if you've counted.
Okay.
If I've counted properly.
Okay.
No more are planned.
Well, I don't know if 13 were planned the first time. I mean,
Well,
We can tell them
she
they've
said
all
it's
run
some
away
kind
to
of
join the
miracle at the
circus.
Sovereign.
Lonnie had a litter, is what she did.
She did all at once as well.
Harsh.
Or a clutch.
A brood.
Yeah.
So the doors are obviously open. Inside, you see several bushels of winter corn, but nowhere near what you might expect from a farm this size. There are a few scattered tools, but there's a wide tarp spread out on the ground, and lots of unlit lanterns hanging from pegs along the walls. There's a contraption made of thick beams holding a rope ending in a hook and pulley attached to a hand crank that sits on the edge of the tarp.
We're going to have a look underneath the tarp, aren't we?
Yeah,
Lift it.
let's do it.
Go ahead, Darby.
Let's just rip it off like a band-aid. Rip it off.
Could do. Go on, give us a hand, then. Honest Seb, you take one corner, I'll take the other one. We'll fold it up neat like what Mummy made us do.
Yep. Pull in,
Yeah,
tug in.
go on in. But hang about. I'm just going to make sure there's nothing like really obviously untoward going on here.
Well, that's your job.
Yeah. So I'm just looking. I'm going to do a fine traps just to make sure that there's nothing
Sure.
really
Yeah.
stupid. Non-natural 20.
Cool. Yeah, you're fairly sure it's not trapped.
Definitely looks like a tarp.
Absolutely bog standard tarp. There's lots of tools and stuff lying around. You pull the tarp back and you see a pit. It's about 10 feet across, and there's a ladder rested against the edge. Looking down, though, you see just pure pitch black darkness.
I'll take a coin from my pocket, and I just sort of gesture, be quiet, and drop it just to see if we can hear. How deep it
Bloody
is.
hell. Fool of a thief.
It's all right. It was only
I
a
think
coin.
Lord of the Rings quotes go about the same way as Monty Python. No, I'm not going to dock you look for that, but thank you.
No, all right.
Yeah, that you've probably done this kind of thing before, Seb. It's a long way down. You hear a faint seconds later. You hear a faint noise, but you're not really sure whether it's chipped off the side of this or whether it's hit the ground.
Right. Well, it's at least 11 feet, so don't fall in.
I've got an idea. Why don't we just crank the rope down?
Yep.
Why don't we put one of those lamps that's hanging on the wall? Why don't we light one of those, put it on the end of the rope, and then drop that down?
That's a good shout.
Even better idea.
Why don't we light the lamp before we lower it down?
Now that's just being silly.
Regular Mensa meeting.
Pure genius. Every one of you.
How many adventures does it take
To light a
To
lamp.
light a lamp.
Well, so far we haven't done it. Yeah, we'll do
So
that.
you light the lantern, hang it on the hook, lower it down, it descends for a good sort of 60 feet or so. So far that you see the illuminated glow pass, and you basically see darkness between the glow and where you're standing. So it descends into darkness. But yeah, you can make out rough hewn rock for 70, 80 feet.
And then does the lantern then come to rest on the...
Touches the floor, yeah.
I'll throw on my buckskin gloves and grab hold of the rope, wrap a leg around, and slide on down.
Awesome. Okay, give me a quick agility check, Bob.
Here, Jules, do you reckon if we, Darby, do you reckon if we crank the rope up really quickly, you'll just stay at the same height?
It's got to be worth a shot, my dude.
I rolled a 16, so I have a 15, Bruce.
Negatory.
Before the other guy started messing with the rope. That was absolutely fine. However, no, I love you, Bob. I wouldn't do that to you.
But they would.
But they would, and indeed,
Absolutely, they would.
as you drop to the bottom, you have to narrowly swerve to avoid the unfortunate placement of
a
the
hook and lantern
as it rises somewhat.
Find the coin.
But you drop you drop successfully to the ground. I'm just a little bit mindful of the time, so we've got a rope. I'm not going to make you all make checks and stuff, especially as one of your brave and bold is at the bottom of the ground, bottom of the pit. Are you all planning on traversing either by ladder or rope?
Yep.
Indeed.
Excellent. So you find yourself in a strange chamber that's part of rough natural cave and part worked stone. The worked stone that's left is really badly cracked and has got huge missing sections of it. But the bits with carvings on it's beautiful, beautifully accomplished. Ruined, too ruined really to make out what they depict, but you get the impression of figures and maybe sort of landscapes. No sign of any color, but really quite a high standard of work. What do you guys want to? So there's an exit. Let's say it goes to the southeast.
Well, let's go there then.
I'll pick up the lantern and.
Does this area qualify as part of the Shutter Mountains so we won't get lost?
Very good point. Thank you, Jim. Yes, you are absolutely certain you go southeast.
Yay! I was useful.
You're always useful.
You healed me when I was down to 6 hit points. You're very useful.
Yeah, but I couldn't do drat for Darby.
No, but I got a great scar out of it. Weasel teeth marks.
So lead the way with the lantern.
Okay, so let's just have a sort of rough marching order. Merle's going to head off ahead with the lantern. Who's going to follow him up? Who's taking up the rear?
I'll take up the rear just to protect our back.
Okay. Cool. And I think Phil's going to be somewhere. Sorry, Seb's going to be somewhere in the middle.
Same.
Sisu's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm
up near the front.
expert one or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Okay. So for time, I'm going to skip to a somewhat finalish encounter. Just for folks watching at home, there's quite an interesting dungeon section here. No spoilers, but we do want to get this wrapped up in the next 30 minutes. And I've got a pretty full table, however awesome the players are. So you find yourself, after a journey down a winding passage, you meet along your way a young lady who tells you she has been kidnapped. Her name is Maisel. You are able to free her from a cell-like structure where she has been put to work. Yeah, let's skip the dungeon in Dungeon Crawl Classics. Let's just crawl and be classical or something. So yes, you rescue Maisel from her captivity. She was traveling back to the town for the holidays to visit Ming, but she was captured by these weird creatures, and she has been set to work in the dungeon, writing out what appears to be a recipe for some foul nectar. I would at this point hand out the recipe as a handout. It can I shouldn't really. I can read it to you. These handouts really need to be in PDFs, the right orientation. When I'm running online, 6 buckets of water from the Moonstone Well, 6 hatfuls of dank briar cuttings left to season the week on the table. Heat over a dark fire, stir while picturing the look on the faces of your enemies when they see you rich and respected. Bring to the boil, add salt and coffin spores, enough to kill a man. Cook over spoil fire for a full night and day, stirring around left while cussing the light and he who brings it. Rat blood to taste, stir a final time, spit thrice into therein and let cool completely. Bottle in green city glass and age 1 whole moon. That's the nectar from the mountain.
Spoil fire.
I think nectar is sort of a misnomer.
There's that too.
Pus flavored moonshine. That's what it sounds.
Does
like.
it have to cool completely?
Completely. It's underlined on some of these, and she's got this big box of things, and she doesn't really know much about where she's here. Her memory is fuzzy, but she was basically chained to a rock because she is a scribe and she works at the big city, and she was returning to the town for the holidays. She asks you, please, can you find my sister Ming? You continue, and the passageway eventually opens out to a huge quarry pit. Looking over the edge, you see humans in ragged cloth toiling, some using pickaxes to chip the stone out of the wall, some using carts and wheelbarrows to haul pieces of white stone away from the wall into the centre of the pit. In the centre of the lower part of the quarry is a raised mound of gathered white boulders, the top of which is a huge black fire. There's a kettle on a tripod set over it, and it's currently being stirred by a grizzled old man who is chained at the ankle.
Well,
That fire looks like the fire that we had up above.
Mm-hmm.
you know, since he's so looking around, it looks like there's a guy. Make sure I've got this right. Chained at the ankle, who's stirring a pot,
Yep.
and everyone else seems to be some sort of forced labor as well. There's no sign like of any guards or anything like that.
No.
Right. I will shout, "Stop! You're saved."
Two or three of these people throw down the pickaxes and raise their hand in the air. Others glance at you and look absolutely terrified. And they flinch and they cover their heads, like duck and cover, basically. And you're bemused somewhat by their reaction until you see from the far end of the cavern a grand sight. A fearsome creature, a dragon, if that's what you say, a great big winged beast, the color of the moon, swoops in from the far end of the chamber, and it opens its mouth, and a great cloud of energy spills forth, and it glances off two of the people who had thrown down their pickaxes, and they are cast away across the other side of the chamber. One of them doesn't move again. The other one sort of is clearly, horribly, horribly injured. So I think it's time for one final time, folks.
My bad.
Roll initiative.
Yay!
Would this dragon be the one on the cover of the adventure?
No, it's completely different. Completely different. There are multiple dragons in this Fall of a Took. Okay, going around the table. Jules for Derby.
17.
Laura for Sisu.
10.
Thank you. Jen for Letty Jane.
7.
Awesome.
Yeah. You say that.
Phil for Honest Seb.
19.
Nice.
Whew.
Bob for Mel.
16.
16. And Erin for Frazzle.
6.
you know,
That'll give you time to warm up your spell burn.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
drive it like you stole it, right?
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, our sneaky thief is up first. So, Phil.
I am going to reach into the pocket with all those coppers and silvers that we pulled out. Pull out a crappy copper. Pull out my elk horn slingshot. And I'd like to try and strike the dragon with a coin.
Ooh.
You bastards are always after money. Here you go. And that is a 19 to hit.
Oh, nice. All right, well, that's a hit.
Well, I'm not going to do much damage, but, you know. That's 3.
What color coin was it that you pulled out?
It was a copper coin.
A copper coin. Okay. So you guys see Seb flick, deft flick of the wrist, and you see this copper catching light as it sails through, and it glances off the silvery skin of this dragon. And again, you're reminded or brings to mind the surface of the moon, it's a glancing blow, but it clearly hits, and it looks like the moon dragon changes its heading slightly, and it's definitely sort of focused on honest Seb right now. Next up is Darby.
Well, I take out my deer horn slingshot. And I am going to take out my bestest, most polished stone out of my bag of super duper stones, and I'm going to do a similar thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot the dragon, and I get a massive 10. It's big.
Yeah. So this, you're not really firing
Hard to
into
hit,
melee, fortunately.
Mhm.
It's a big dragon. It's a little stone. It doesn't really come close, I'm afraid. But it just glances off the ceiling of the cavern, and Darby misses. But Merle's up next.
How far away is this thing?
So the cavern, it's right now it's about 60 feet away,
Hmm.
and
Is it close and
it's probably
fast, or-
20, 30 feet. It's going to be on you, let's have a look. It's going to be on you or within 30 feet next round, but it is 10, 20 feet above you.
Gotcha. Okay. Then this round, I'm going to use my short bow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go for the eyes. I'm going to try and blind one of its eyes with a blinding deed. No. I'm pretty sure a combined total of 10.
A combined total of 10 is unfortunately not even close. Sorry, Bob. Sisu, though, and Sisu also is wielding a bow.
Don't you know, Bo? And it responds to its name. That's
Bless
course
that
it
dragon's little heart.
yes. All right, I am going to emulate my warrior brother, and I saw what you were going for with the eye. I'm going to try to do the same. And I rolled a 1 on the deed die, but I rolled an 18 plus 3, so 21 on my attack.
That's a hit.
roll. Yep. So add the 1 to the damage. That's a d6 plus 2, so d6 plus 3 is a 6 plus 3, so 9 damage as I shoot the dragon.
Oof. All right, so this arrow hits. It hits sort of center mass. The arrow snaps. You can all clearly see that it's impacted. Hard to make out if it scales, but it's definitely. I mean, you know now that you can do damage with sharp weapons, and it opens its mouth almost. You don't hear any sound, but you feel like it's a cry of pain. Should it actually be able to vocalize? which so far it hasn't. It swoops down. It's going to take. It's going to swoop down on you as a group. So just bear with me 1 second. So it closes 30 feet on you, and it opens its mouth, and it shoots forth its weird breath weapon, a line of cosmic void, 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and it's aiming at Sisu right now. That was a 17 in total, and it does 5... 11, 16 points of damage, Sisu.
I'm down to 2.
And it hurls you 10 feet away. So you're knocked back directly back up to the passageway by about 10 feet, taking some of that damage, obviously, as you fall. And I would like the 3 that landed, the 2 of you that landed successful attacks, I would like you all, you both to make a fortitude save, please.
All right. Plus 2. 19.
And Jules as well, yeah.
I missed, but
what did you get?
No, for my fortitude to hit. Before I got 10, so I missed the dragon. But my fortitude save, if you still want that, is 21.
Yeah. Okay, so Phil, what did you get in your fort save?
Oh, terrible! I got 6.
You are deafened for 2 rounds.
You what? Nearly.
Walk straight into that. Yeah.
The rest of you see this, see this wedge launch out of its breath, and it looks like the night sky, and the energies knock Sisu right off his feet. Next up, though, is Letty Jane. This thing is bearing down on you.
Oh, jeez. I don't think I'm gonna get as high as I need to on this other thing, but I'm really gonna try for blessing, because Sisu needs to get back up. Sisu needs to get back out there. I can walk behind and heal later, but get up now. So I'm casting blessing, and can we say divine disapproval?
We can indeed. I love demonstrating some of the most fun mechanics in Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Yay.
On closer to Sovereign Night, the Sovereign is busy. You're getting the answer phone, basically.
Especially if we're in a spoil.
So I have a total of a 7 for disapproval, and I think that's bad. I think that's very, very bad.
That's pretty bad. Somebody got the table to hand?
I hate having to look up my own fate.
I can do it.
Disapproval. We're here.
Yeah. Cleric must endure a test of faith. They gain an illness that costs 1 point of strength, agility, and stamina. The ability score loss heals at the normal rate of 1 per day. The cleric may not use magic to heal the loss. If the cleric endures the test to the satisfaction of their deity, they retain the magical abilities. If not, at judge's discretion, the disapproval range immediately increases by another point. So, a test of faith.
Indeed, test of faith. Okay.
As if this wasn't testing enough, what would the Sovereign do to test your faith, Letty Jane?
It would he would remind me to have more faith and remember that the acorns are sacred.
You hear those words as you see you're reminded of the vision of the chapel burning and that poor beleaguered pastor looking to you for his assistance. You've let him down. Your faith has to be stronger.
If that was indeed my brother in faith. If
It's better than my suggestion, which could have been you have to eat a plate full of chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts.
I can put my nose and deal with that.
Thank you, Jules.
A little easier.
So Letty Jane's God has failed, or her faith has failed, but Frazzle is up next.
It's a toss-up between blast it with fire or reversing the mending spell to try and like just disassemble a dragon and just go for all out.
Whoa.
Let's see if we can disassemble a dragon using
Okay.
the reverse mending spell. So instead of mend, tear. We'll see if we can tear a
This
wig
will
off
be
or
the
something.
final encounter, one way or another.
Yeah. So Frazzle has decided that it's go big or go home by this point, and turns to Stringfellow and says, "Dude, you know what's got to happen." Holds his arm out like that as Stringfellow digs his claws into his arm and pecks at his arm and rakes huge marks up his arm, and he's like, we'll do this, come on, we do this together, Stringfellow, come on. And we're going to spell burn. See, it's a toss up between, I've got 12 points to spell burn in total. Do I burn all 12, or do I try and do it in 2 hits of 6? I feel like let's do all 12, go big, go home. So,
Well, there is a lucky son of a gun who also might be able to help you.
Yeah,
So we've
I can pile on some luck.
pile on luck as well. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go for 8 points of spell burn. Give me a little bit left over, so I'm not massively staggered. And then we'll do a roll and see what we get. I'm aiming for. Where are we? A very large object of great complexity that's even magical in nature, I think, is probably a description of a dragon, which is 30. I don't
That
know
sounds
if we're going to
appropriate.
20. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's go 10. Spell burn 10 points. Come on.
Do you want some more luck? What are you going to get?
Yeah,
We can add
Yeah.
luck after, so let's see what
we can
what
add
get on
luck
the roll, yeah?
after. We got.
Sorry, Frazzle can add luck after.
Can other players add luck after?
I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But no other players were going to. Okay. No, that's
No,
right.
no.
Okay.
First.
Don't worry, I got a lot.
No, you get a lot. Okay, that's cool because I rolled a 12. That's plus 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16, 24. That's
24.
That's 24 with my 10 points of spell burn.
What did you want?
We need at least 30, so I need
Okay,
another
I'm
6.
more than happy to spend 3 points of luck, which doubles up to 6 points of luck, but you can have more if you need.
Well, 32 plus. We get.
Dude, we're in there.
Yeah,
got it.
let's do it.
You know. Right then.
Yeah,
Have-
let's get to
have-
32.
We'll get it up to 32, which by my reckoning is a spend of how much luck?
Another 8.
I'm doing
So
it 2
it's
for
20.
1.
4, 6,
So
and
it's, for
8.
me, it's
yeah.
4, yeah. For me, it's
Yeah,
4.
so, it's
So
4,
I'm spending 4.
4 for you.
Right. So you're up to 30.
32. The caster repairs, but in this case tears a very large object, even if it's complex or magical in nature. I think we're
Both of
talking
those.
dragon here. They can cast it on a living creature to mend a wound. So in this case, create
Gonna
tear
run-
wounds.
Okay.
So you're
Casting
ripping
the
it a new
spell
one.
on casting the spell on a living creature heals 1 debilitating casting, or is equivalent to 2d hit points of damage. So I think it would be a spell on a living creature does something awful to it,
Oh,
equivalent to 2d6 hit points of damage. But see, to me, it kind of feels like we're undoing it. It's more. I would argue it's more than 2d6 worth of damage if we're undoing like the wing and getting it to crash or something.
I will let you have 2 of its hit die instead.
Okay.
Which is D8. Sound fair?
Yeah,
Is that what you're looking
sounds
for?
fair. Yeah, that sounds fair. First one's 6. Second
Okay.
one's 7.
So 30. So how do you envisage it? Literally, you're just tearing it. Where are you aiming for? The center of its body or a wing or?
Yeah, we're going for where everyone's been aiming in the center.
Yeah. Okay. So starting where the arrow hit, you just see the arrow just sort of starts to move like a zip, and you see the belly of the beast start to sort of tear and ripple open. And as it opens, rather than gore and guts, you see the edges of the tear start to glimmer in the black light from the fire, and you see swirling from within the dragon the same sort of black vortex of energy, reminiscent of the night sky, but on after far too much moonshine, it's spinning and swirling. You see purples and greens and bright colors. The dragon starts to tilt and swing, and it's struggling currently to stay airborne. I'm going to give it a save. It actually crashes down in front of you. It was about 20-30 feet away from you, crashes down to the ground in front of you. It lifts its head, and it's now completely focused on Frazzle. But we're back to the top of the initiative with Honest Seb.
I'm going to run right in with my short sword.
Okay,
And,
take your hit, take your swing.
I'd love to, but I seem to have misplaced my D. There it is. D20. No, that wasn't very good. I think I miss when I'm running.
Okay.
I rolled a
just,
6. So.
Just a regular old miss. All right. Okay. So you swing by, you don't hit it.
I think as it was falling, I was like trying to coordinate to be exactly where it was going to land, and I don't know, went too far or not far enough.
You're 10 feet out. You swing and you miss. Darby's up next.
Okay. I've got this iron nail when I can. This is would you call this a spellcaster? As such,
but you have got some spell-like abilities to. Well, just read it out loud for everybody's benefit.
Yeah, I'm going to nail the witch's shadow. Drive a nail into the shadow of the spellcaster because I'm pretty sure it's casting a big one, and I cause 1d4 non-preventable damage.
All right.
Which is the whole 4, which is going ow, 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 and then I wish to hit it with my little sword.
I'll let you say both of those. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That sounds fair. You would normally make 2 attacks, so I'll let you.
I'm doing the one.
A spike.
Yeah. Right. Do I still use? Do I use a D20 if I'm going to hit it the once?
No, I think you. Yeah, just a D20. Yeah. So, what was your D4 on the spell-like ability first?
Yeah, that was 4.
Oh, that was
then
4.
I've rolled a natural 1 on hitting it with my sword.
All right, back to the fumbles then.
Fumbling.
What did you get on the fumble?
Oh, go on. Fumble. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Crit die, action dice. Where's fumble on this?
It should be in your next to your armor, I think.
Yeah, I'll be next to armor.
Armor. Oh yeah. Check down. Fumble 1d8. Hey.
Modified by luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've just spent a whole bunch.
I've just spent a whole bunch of shite. I'm not on minus though.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, where's the fumble table? Does it say what table it is? Yeah.
I've got the fumble table. Just
right, I'm going to roll D8 then. 3.
Your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it. Your grip is disrupted. Take a -2 penalty on your next attack.
Okay. Yeah, I probably burst a few strings. It's gone a bit wobbly and
could have been worse.
floppy.
But prior to that terrible miss, you drove an iron spike into
Devil's
the
Nail.
ground, the shadow of the beast, and it writhes in agony as you do so. It doesn't look too healthy. But next up, it's Merle. This dragon is before you.
I have a few questions for you. First of all, how big is this thing?
Pardon me.
Like, how big is its head?
With its it is the size of a large. It's bigger than a bull. You know, it's hard for you to equate to a natural animal, but maybe you've seen bulls with a head this big.
Okay, so it's wait. So its head is as big as a bull, or as big as a bull's head?
As big as a bull's head, but larger than a bull's head. But I'm trying to think of character type references.
Gotcha.
A large dragon, not a tiny dragon.
No.
So I'm going to pull out my silver knife, and I'm going to charge this prone dragon, and I'm going to attempt to drive my knife through the top of its snout and nail it shut.
Ooh, I like it. So a 3 on the deed die nails it shut, but a hit is a hit is a hit.
That is a 3 on the deed, 15,
Ooh.
And a total of a 20 to hit.
20 is a hit. So Merle charges at this thing, brings down this silvered blade straight through the nose of this beast. In fact, those of you watching see it's the point come out neatly. Silver on silver. You're now aware that this thing is not pure silver, and not made of silver. It's definitely got a yellowish, like I say, moon rock type reflection. But regardless of how fancy it was looking, Merle has done some serious damage here. Roll, what was your damage?
8 points. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Ichor. This thing is not just full of light and void. There is some black sort of ichor that drops down. But as it pours down its chest, again you see what look like stars spinning in its blood fluid. Sisu, you're up next.
Summoning the grit of my Finnish heritage, I lift myself up off of the ground slowly as I ready my spear, and I stand to my feet like my namesake. And with all the grit that I have in me, I fall onto the dragon with my spear, and I try to stab it in the eye.
Make it happen.
You got this.
All right, we got a 2 on the deed die, got a 14 on the regular die, plus 4 total is 18. Does that
That's
hit?
a hit. That is a hit.
Okay, so with the spear, I do a +1 once I do the negative and then the deed. So +1 to a D8 is, and the deed didn't go off, so you can say whether it went in the eye or not. But I got 8 damage on I got max damage, so. Oh, +1, so 9 damage.
9 damage. The spear goes in, and the dragon collapses. With you're not even sure if this thing breathes the air, but it expels, and its breath comes out like a much diluted, black, spindly, like a diluted version of its breath weapon. Doesn't seem to do any harm. Merle, you're standing right next to it. You feel it impact you, heavier than a breath of air, but not enough to do any damage. And it just sort of sinks down and immediately starts to sort of fizz and hiss and just collapse into its constituent elements, which is like a fine dust, very, very similar to the weird rocks that are on the fire that surround the cauldron and the black fire. The dragon is saved. The prisoners start to cheer. And really, the only thing left is this cauldron bubbling over the fire. I think that might be something that our cleric needs to take care of. What do you think, folks?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You funny people.
Wait, I can help you. I have another hymn that might be appropriate. Maybe it will give you a bonus.
Is the chorus something like sovereign? Is it
No,
anything
but it involves a still.
Oh, I like stills.
Away in a holler, no fire for my still. The sovereign, he heats it with merely his will. The mash, it is steaming, smoke rising so high. The sovereign is smiling from up in the sky.
Oh.
I think we're going to have to leave it there. I don't think I can possibly top that, Bob. Thank you very much. That was excellent. You are able, of course, to extinguish the black fire.
I have a 22. Finally.
Need a 23.
I will burn my luck for that.
While your luck's up, Jen, do you want to give us a percentile roll for the final advent calendar from the Shudder Mountains?
Yeah. I've really missed being able to do these. 35.
35. This is healed up nice, up to 1 time per character level. You can choose the heal effects of any otherwise permanent injury, curse, or corruption by the grace of the sovereign.
Ooh. Can I use it to heal Sisu back up completely?
Of course you can, because it's now going to be Sovereign Night and returning to the town as heroes with not only the Ming and Maisel, but many others from surrounding towns and villages.
Yay!
You return in time to find that the pastor has managed to shore up the roof, you return as heroes to enable Star Notch to celebrate Sovereign Night slightly unconventionally, but there is a warm glow about you all. You all each earn 3 points of luck and are able to rest in the village and receive the love and attention in that village. So yeah, hold on to your character sheets. We all do it. Go and use these characters in Brendan's next game or something, right?
I love it.
Thank you so much for playing, guys and girls.
Thank you.
Absolutely awesome to have you all here. It's apologies it was somewhat shortened, but you know how these things go. Squeezing a game into 4 hours can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, but I think we got to a decent conclusion. Any final words, anybody?
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody. It's been an amazing night. What a Christmas present. Thank you. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
It was wonderful seeing you.
Yeah.
Happy Krampusnacht and Sovereign Night and
Happy holidays.
Kwanzaa, Christmas on the Kwanzaa, something like that.
That's amazing.
And don't forget the solstice, which apparently is Sovereign Night because it's the longest night of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Have a cool
You all
Yule.
brighten up my life, even in the darkest night. So I love you all.
Oh.
It really has been absolutely awesome. Phil, thank you very much for hosting and for having me on. Really appreciate it. And
You're always welcome back. Everyone is always welcome back.
Yeah. I was just going to say, everybody, if you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you need to be following this guy, not just for the DCC content, but all kinds of awesome RPG stuff. The videos go up on YouTube regularly. You'll also see Judge Zach here running some DCC. And it's just a great place to hang out. So hit the follows and the subscribes and all of those nice things. So thank you very much.
If you're watching on YouTube, or if you find us on YouTube, the link to our Discord is on the description for all of our
there's
videos.
Discord,
Our Discord is open. That's not bound to patrons, although obviously we do have a Patreon as well if you really love what we do. But mostly it's about having a community spirit. So if you've enjoyed this, then please subscribe. Please follow us on the medias everywhere, and just come back. You know, I've loved having you all here. Really appreciate everything that you guys have done tonight. Judge Bruce, always an incredible
My pleasure, mate.
judge.
My pleasure.
And thank you to Jules, to Laura, Bob, Jen, and Erin. And thank you from me. I hope you all have had a great time. And we'll be back. I'm sure we'll be back again before the end of the festive season. Normally we have something every Friday on the channel. It's been a little bit quieter over the last couple of months. But yeah, we're doing all sorts of things, DCC, and many other systems.
Mothership soon. I want to see some Mothership
Ooh.
soon.
I think there's a guy, Judge Bruce, I think, runs Mothership.
I mean, maybe, maybe.
Oh.
There are other people who play who
There are
do
other
Mothership
people.
as well, but
There are other people. We've got a few things in the pipeline. We're also
PDF's
having
just
some
dropped,
Call of
right?
Cthulhu,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking about maybe a campaign or something for next year. It's
I haven't
really
played in the
been-
Phil game. I've played an Erin game, but I haven't played in
Wow,
the Phil
you really
game
haven't,
yet.
have
So
you?
we need
We'll
to
have
fix
fix
that. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone is welcome at any time. Please
Awesome.
come back. And until that time, I hope that everyone's dice rolls has been significantly better than mine. Thank you so much for joining. Take care and have a great evening.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Happy holidays.